you remember I had the 10?
Yeah.
My 10 broke in the summer, right when I was about to pay for the 11. My 10 broke.
The 11 looks cool, but I'm waiting until next year.
Guess how it broke?
Yeah.
Water damage.
Same, that's how mine broke.
Water damage. I'm like, you motherfuckers say on TV that this shit is borderline waterproof.
Yo, put the mic closer to you real quick. We're already in it, so we're already recording. But, like, I feel the same way, man. Like, are phones waterproof today or not?
Yes, some.
So what is
none of the Apple
what's
ones.
the verdict on
Dude, like, Apple has, like I said, the greatest business strategy. Like, every year, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just find a way to suck us in. Like,
yeah, I was going to get to 11.
How is it that every year they come out with some updates, right?
Yeah.
A group of updates that makes your phone slower each time. You get it, it's perfect. You can swipe up so fast. It's like, whoa, I didn't even touch the thing, and it swiped up. And as time goes on, it wears off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next phone comes up, the update comes up, and then your phone's obsolete eventually.
The thing that drives me crazy is that I couldn't outright buy a new phone.
What do you mean?
Because my 10 broke, and my 10 was borderline paid off. Because I was going to get the 11.
You went through the same thing I just went through.
So they were like, I said, hey, man, I literally was about to, like, pre-order. No, this is before the pre-order. I was like, I want to get the 11. I know it's coming out in September. Can I just buy a cheap, shitty phone right now? He's like, oh, you can't outright buy Apple phones or iPhones anymore. This is at AT&T. I was like, what do you mean I can't outright buy it? Like, I literally want to give you $1,000 right now just to get a paid-out phone. You would have to finance it.
Yeah,
because
they want you to,
you'd be locked in for 3 years, and they changed it, so now I'm locked in for 2.5?
Really?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, do you want the same gigabyte as your last phone was?" I had the 6410, and I was like, "No, give me the fucking 256."
Right.
Don't be trying to give me the same phone. If I'm gonna be here to get a new phone, I'm gonna get a damn new phone.
Yeah.
You said this was the 11. Which one?
So what I got is the 10X Max, 10X
XS Max.
XS Max.
Oh, that's the Max.
Sorry, not the Max. The XS. I have the iPhone XS.
That's what I had.
Yeah.
So XS is not an 11. That's different.
No, it's like the one before. The
Okay.
year before. It came out last year, 2018.
Last year. I bought the 10, the X. I bought the X the day it came out 2 years ago. The one that he bought
2 years already. Fuck.
was the
Right.
XS.
Yeah.
That came out last year.
Okay.
Mine's. It's funny because, so I was just chilling in the bathroom, right? And I time myself in the morning because I'm on a tight schedule. So I had it in like the the opening in the bathroom or whatever. You put your soap there, there's a space for it. So I put it there. I always do it. Play some music, shit like that. Get ready, and then it's fine. It's I guess sometimes water will spritz on it, but it's water resistant, right? So who cares? Like it's just a little bit of water. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. So then I'm leaving. I head to Wawa to get some food in the morning. And all of a sudden, my Face ID ain't working. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I can't be that dark now. Shit. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it just shuts off. I go into the settings first to fix it. I'm like, no, come on, turn it on. It won't turn on. It would always go to the Apple screen, the Apple showing, the startup screen. Shut off every time. I'm like, oh fuck. Dude.
I was at
Sunday. I'm not gonna get an Apple appointment on a day like this. I'm not trying to go all the way to Willow Grove. So I called T-Mobile, and pretty much they locked me into getting a cheaper phone, but my bill's going to be more. But it's only for a year.
Yeah.
And then I can get the upgrade.
So for me, I was at Dorney Park.
That's a disaster.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I was at
Your phone's chopped. It's
no,
done.
you know what's funny? It came back on the next day.
Oh, really?
But the Face ID doesn't work.
Man.
Which is fine. But I was just really concerned because it didn't come on in the first place. I didn't care about the Face ID.
Yeah, when your phone's completely done, you panic.
Yeah, I was like,
because your whole life is in
Oh,
there.
listen, so I got to
That's the
go.
bad thing.
I got to go in for you. So I was at Dorney Park.
Yeah.
Had my phone in a water-resistant fanny pack.
Don't ever believe that.
So I had the fanny pack on, right, with my phone inside. Go in the log flume. Boom. I get off of it. And I had it under my shirt, right? And it was against my skin under my shirt. I'm like, yo, my fucking stomach's on fire right now. I'm like, why is my stomach so hot? I take the phone out. Somehow, I don't know how this happened. I had a wet ticket in my pocket, right? And I put it in the fanny pack with the iPhone. The iPhone's own heat heated up the ticket and then created all this moisture locked inside of this waterproof thing.
It's so chaotic. Like,
Yo.
for what reason?
So we go.
Chaotic.
I take the phone.
Why was your iPhone so hot, bro?
Because, so The wet ticket was against the battery in the iPhone, right? The backside. Without a case. So it was like this.
Yeah, but typically, is it supposed to get that hot?
Well, here's the thing. And this is what I'm saying. So it's against my skin, right?
Yeah, I got you.
The ticket is in between that and the material.
And the water resistant.
And the water resistant bag against my stomach.
Against your stomach.
So naturally, when your phone's in your pocket, it's going to get warmer.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's tight and sealed. It somehow drew a lot of the moisture out of the ticket inside and vacuumed. If I took the bag out, it looked like it was a microwave. Like those bubbles on the screen on the outside.
You know why it's funny? Because I don't think you could recreate that whole process
I couldn't do it again
if you wanted to.
Yeah,
no.
it was a 1 in a million.
That's just like a 1 in a million.
Yeah.
Fuck
So
me.
check this out. So I went like this. I went to take my phone out, and I was like, yo, what the fuck, dude? I put the phone down, and it's like it starts sizzling.
Really?
So I put a drop of water, just a little bit on the back. It's like
It's evaporated.
Bro, and I'm like, yo, what the hell? So we go into this little shop, and I said, can I get like bags of ice? I need to cool my phone off. I got all these. So
Your phone's done at this point.
So I put my phone in a bag, and then I have all these bags of ice, and I just have my phone on it, and it reduced significantly. Tried to turn on, nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
Dude, when they don't turn on, that's what really gets you. Because it's like, dude, because the process of getting an Apple appointment is like hectic. Like T-Mobile, they offered to pay for me, like, but I know like I can't go in the Apple store, but yo, man, fix it. There's like millions of people in there.
Yeah. Bro, I went into the Apple store, so I had an appointment. I had to wait 3 days, right? 3 days, no phone.
It's like, I'm gonna
so I go into Apple. I said, they're like, oh, your Apple protection just expired. I'm like, when? And he's like, oh, it's about a month ago. I'm like, of course it did.
Right.
Yeah,
so I was like, fucking course. Of course it expired. The 2-year thing and it expired. So he's like, you can get a brand new. We can fix your phone for you for $600. I'm like, what about the battery replacement? The battery replacement has to be $50. She's like, well, since you're not under like care of it, we can't replace the battery for you. I'm like, so I have to buy a new phone for $600. I said, I'm going to AT&T real quick.
You know what I might do? Speaking on that, is next year
I still have it at my house too.
pay off this phone and buy it directly through Apple and get the warranty with them.
Yep.
That means if it fucks up, I just get a new one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cause I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm so fed up and tired
the
of
carriers
these phones.
will fuck you.
The carriers will fuck you up.
And they'll give you shit that you don't even need. Like this one lady, when I wanted to get this phone, I'm like, listen, I just want the phone. I don't care.
You don't want the iPad with it?
She tried to get the watch on me. She tried to hook me up with a portable charger. I'm like, dog, I don't need that shit, though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, damn, I might bring that shit to a party, though.
Tight. No, it's tight. Like, if you were able to afford it, I'm always like that, too. I'm just like, I'm not money bags. Like, when you look at me and I'm young, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not some old dude walking in
or
with,
you're
like,
not someone who wants
$1,000.
extra bills.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to finance a cell phone.
Yeah, why am I doing that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just this kid, so why are you trying to get me to buy all this stuff? You know? And that never made sense to me.
Ended up getting this phone with AT&T. That's my carrier anyway, so I ended up getting it. And then at my office, one of my colleagues, her son-in-law is like a iPhone like fixer. He has his own company like fix iPhone. So I gave her my phone. A week later, she comes back to me. He was like, yeah. He opened it up and said that literally the battery exploded in the phone and it melted. It melted the whole like motherboard or something like that.
Battery
that happened to me too. But like I said, I guess mine's was on the brink of that happening.
Yeah.
Like I guess it cooled down over a day.
Bro, so because my biggest fear, I was like, I do not want this phone exploding on me. When I was at Dorney Park, I was like, the whole day, I was like, the phone was hot for like 5 hours. Of like overheated, and I was like, dude, this is gonna blow up, and I'm just gonna get a bag from Apple.
Just like picturing you unenthusiastic at Dorney Park because you're supposed to be having a good time. You're just like, dang, yo, my phone is a fine.
Why you know what things happen at like a adventure park?
You know, all the time.
I always realize
what had me tight.
You're so right. Honest.
No, but what had me tight is like I didn't take my debit cards because I could use my Apple Pay.
Yeah, that's all I use, by the way.
Yeah.
So that between that and then I knew I had things scheduled for like appointments like that week for the first couple of days. I'm like, dude, this is just ruining like my week.
Yeah.
Like not having a phone. Luckily, the one thing I will say Apple's smart with, when I went to get my new phone, my phone somehow backed itself up to the cloud right as it had died.
That's cool.
Like it exploded.
Yeah, that happened to me too.
That's cool.
And he's like, oh, you seem to have a previous save, or whatever he said.
Mm-hmm.
Backup. He's like, from Sunday at this time. I'm like, yeah, that's when my phone broke.
Thank God. Like, yeah, God's good. But you're right. I've never seen more kids crying and more parents stressed out than at amusement parks. You expect everyone to be having fun. Bro, there's kids just like screaming like,
Want to know something funny too? This is so funny. So it's me, Natalia, like Jake, Brittany, Sean, his girlfriend, and Jesse, my roommate. So we all went, right? We all haven't been to a music park in probably over 5 years.
This was this previous summer.
This is this past summer, back in June. We haven't been there in years, right?
Yeah.
We're going on the rides. I'm like having a fun time. I'm yelling on the ride. I get off the ride. I feel sick to my stomach. I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on with my head? My head's pounding like right now. I said I felt this feeling before. Like, so whatever. We go out throughout the whole day. We're still riding on rides. We go on this one thing where you just like super fast, like just doing backflips all the time. I get off it. I'm like, yo, like I'm walking. My feet are just like not registering. So I'm like, yo, something's wrong. I look at the whole group. Everyone's just devastated. I was like, yeah, I think we all got concussions right now.
We're all concussed.
I know what you're saying.
And a little later that night, Brittany hit her head.
Ooh.
She went to the doctors.
Whoa.
She had a concussion.
Hold on, she hit her head on the ride?
She hit her head getting in the car.
Park fucked y'all up, dog.
Because Dorney Park fucked us up so bad. She hit her head getting in the car. Went to urgent care. She had a concussion.
That's crazy. I had
So
a concussion
I
one
like-
time, or twice.
Really?
I had a grade 2 or a grade 3 concussion in college. My senior year.
Well, you played soccer.
Yep.
So I mean,
that was
that's
bad.
part for the course.
Mine was off of wrestling. It happened twice, actually. The one time I caught someone on a dive, and I missed a step, and I hit back and hit my head on the concrete. And I didn't know where I was at. I was loopy. And
What
then,
happened? What happened to your vision when that happened? I'm just curious.
It's everywhere.
Some people, it affects differently. I heard. Like you don't really
Did
like
you throw
for me,
up?
No, I was fine.
I
bro.
threw up. Dude. I was
fought
throwing my
through it.
brains
Like,
out.
like I started to see myself go like it was dizzy I was dizzy for a while. Everything was blurry, and then I snapped out of it.
Whoa.
Because I was trying to fight it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the second time I did like a drop kick. When I used to do my drop kicks in the wrestling, it's almost like a backflip. Like I drop and then I flip. And when I did it, the guy who dropped it, like he fell forward. He's supposed to fall like out like this.
Yeah.
He fell forward towards me, and like was like I landed and he hit my head.
With his head?
Yeah, no, with his body.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like skimmed off me, kind of. So those are 2 times I got concussion.
But that was just him not understanding how to do this.
He just decided to take that bump at that time. He was a good wrestler. He just decided to take that kind of bump instead of taking the proper way. We take a drop kick. You take it. And
You fall backwards.
you fall backwards or kind of to the side on the angle. He went boom, face bump. Like what? Oh, why are you doing that?
Yeah, man.
But
Sheesh.
yeah, man. Concussions are brutal, bro.
You don't feel human. Like you just feel so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your brain's just scrambling. You're just like losing space. Like mine, I blacked out. Like I got hit, and then I woke up and I was on the ground, and I was like, "Where am I?"
Yeah.
I've never been knocked out, but I've been stunned. That's one of the scariest. Like I know how like these fighters feel when like they're getting hit and shit and they're stumbling. That's one of the scariest.
Your body just like stops working.
Short memory loss too. Like you
Yeah.
don't know where you're at, and then also you think like, "Damn, am I gonna die?" Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
So that's why it's like.
Yeah, because after I got my concussion, I was thrown up in the school parking lot, and then you have to stay up for like you can't go to sleep. Like it was nighttime, so it was like close to going to sleep. I stayed up till like 3 a.m. to make sure the swelling in the brain like reduced because you're not allowed to like go to sleep like for X amount of hours after.
Yeah. Luckily, mines were doing like 6 o'clock.
Wait, I'm new to this. How come you do that? Is that because it's more damage?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I mean, something could happen like while you sleep because you're in that period where you're like when you're sleeping, you're in a certain state of
Yeah, I'm
See,
so
what-
I guess.
See, I fucked up though because when I got hit, then I passed the sideline protocol, concussion protocol.
What's that?
So they give you these little tests to make sure that you're like even though you got hit, but make sure that you're still able to play.
Yeah.
You have to walk in a straight line. My balance was good. They put their finger like this in front of your eyes, and as you're looking at it, if your eyes are shaking, that shows that something's wrong in here. Like your brain's like just like whatever. So that's a sign of a concussion. So after practice, terrible idea. I said to someone on the team, I was like, "Hey, can I get some Advil?" Or I forget which one. One of the blood thinner ones that for like headaches thins your blood. We go to the cafeteria. Normal lights like this, maybe a little brighter. I walk in, I start sweating, and I'm like the lights. I'm like, yo, like, I was like, yo, what the hell is wrong with me? I'm like, I'm trying to eat my food, and I'm like, I can't even open my eyes.
It's like I have a movie or something.
Bro,
Dang.
you know the movies like when it's like someone's disoriented and the lights are just like
Right, you keep seeing
pulsating.
the after images of everybody. Like,
That's exactly how it was. So I go to Seth. I said, yo, you got to drive my car to class. We had a night class. So I got in the back seat and I went to take like a little nap because of my head. He's like, all right, we're here. Open the car door and I just threw up all over the pavement.
oh,
That shit was gnarly, bro.
dude, I'm
That
so
shit
happy I'm not athletic, bro. You guys went through some stuff.
I'm just happy that I think there's some residual effects. Like my memory's not that great anymore, but like nothing like.
My long-term memory is amazing, but my
Really?
short-term memory is like it's not.
I think that's mine.
It's like
I have really
shot,
good
it's
long
just
range.
tainted.
My short form memory is bad too, and I feel like everybody else who's my age has the same problem.
Yeah,
It's
we're
the
all-
smartphone.
it's-
That's what
yeah,
it is.
that's
It's
exactly
the
what
fact
it
that
is.
like you always have to rely on looking at stuff. now.
Yeah, look at stuff. You know what? That's when I realized it. Because
Yeah.
I'd be like, what did I want to look up just now?
Mhm.
Like you're on like 14 apps at once.
Right,
Like
exactly.
I'm on Instagram.
I'll
Like
be walking down the stairs in my house. I get to the bottom stairs and I'll just be like, what I came down here for?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like what the fuck.
Right. I don't know. You just have to practice being present. That's like the whole thing. It's just
Yeah.
you're always thinking about what you're gonna do next or what happened earlier. You always have to practice like just
Yeah.
thinking.
I
about
find
what's
trying to
going on
learn
right now.
another language helps.
Yeah, because it helps you focus, man.
Yeah.
It really helps you focus on
Keeps
like
your brain like
one
sharp.
thing at a time, like greetings and then names and then numbers and so forth. So
Mhm.
yeah, that was a cool little intro. But I really just wanted to call you guys here and talk music and movies. And first off, like, what do you guys think of Jesus is King? What do you think about this whole new? I mean, what hasn't been said about this? I want to say that
We gotta talk about Kanye. We gotta actually
Right.
peel back the curtain and talk everything Kanye.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
That
talk
album
about
was
it.
horrible.
I really liked it.
Really?
I liked it a lot.
I went back and listened. Production is
Oh, the
always
production.
great.
See, but that's not fair when it comes to talking to Kanye because he's never had a bad album with production.
Yeah, he's never had one.
He's
but
never had a bad one, so
I personally like. Okay, put it this way. I went back and listened, and there was 4 songs I kept.
Sella,
Cella's great.
On God.
Follow
Follow
God's
God.
my favorite.
Okay.
Like the sample is just amazing.
Yeah.
And
We want
the
clips.
Clips one. Oh no, Ty Dolla $ign one.
Okay.
Is that the one with the same one?
I don't remember.
But that one just stuck on me for some reason.
Might be water.
But
No.
the actual.
On Sunday is a terrible song.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
so-
Close Sunday, right?
Close Sunday, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's trying to be different. than-
Closed on Sunday. You
You're
my
my
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
I was like,
I was like, all right, this is a little silly.
Yeah, it's a little.
bro, because like my thing with Kanye is like, all right, production-wise, the album's phenomenal. If we're talking productions, once again, he's innovating the sounds.
I think he's bipolar, man.
He said that on the last album, and yay.
He 100% is bipolar.
I think he's autistic. I've always thought that. Somebody.
You know what
at
made me
work
think
brought
that as
up,
well?
And I was like, I think he might be slightly autistic.
You know what made me think of that? I just rewatched.
Look at his eyes when he's talking.
You think so? The eyes? I've just listened to what he says, and I'm like,
Body posture for me. You know why? I just recently.
That's what they body posture.
What?
body posture in his eyes.
yeah.
I just
He's like-
recently.
He's like
What I
this.
just
Yeah,
rewatched.
he's always wide-eyed.
It was
Yeah,
his.
you're
It was
right.
his
That's a good point.
performance on MTV Awards when he debuted "Runaway" when he performed it live
Yeah.
with the beat pad. So I'm just watching
It's
him,
awkward
and I'm
too, by the
watching.
way.
It's pretty awkward.
I'm watching him rap and like his mannerisms, and like him on the MPD, like doing the thing, and just looking at his face. I'm like, why is like his stare? He just has a blank. Like there's no emotion.
Yeah.
Like there's no emotion in
Yeah.
that.
Smart
Or even
guy,
when he
though.
talks to someone, like he'll talk to someone, he'll be
Yeah, and then stop. Yeah.
That's why I think he's slightly autistic. I feel like he's not aware of how other people will interact with him. That's like the big thing I see. But he's just so artistically brilliant, and those are two
things,
tropes
yeah.
of autistic people, right? They're just really
Really
artistically savvy,
really
but
good.
they don't
And-
know how they come off.
He finds a way to just reinvent himself every single time.
Well, that's the whole thing with Jesus King, right? So I don't think he's legitimately like converted to this really stringent
But that's
form
the
of Christianity.
problem, though. That's
You
like
think it's a problem?
that's an issue because then it just seems like, yeah, you're trying to reinvent yourself, but is this like a legitimate thing?
Oh,
Like, are you using something that is so safe to make music in a space like that? Because no one's gonna say
You know why
this
he's doing it,
gospel's
right?
album's trash.
You know why he's doing it?
He's trying to get
Because
back in good favors with people of
with
color.
Black people. Yeah, that's why he's
with
doing
black
it.
people?
Yeah,
Yeah, because
In
black
general?
people.
yeah, because the whole fucking
the
Donald
Trump
Trump thing.
Because
and,
remember he
like,
tried the Chicago thing?
what do you say?
Like, he
Slavery? What do you say on
started- slavery was
TMZ?
a choice.
Yeah, like,
But he said
and I
it-
get what he was saying.
I get what he was saying,
but
but
at
it's
the
like,
same
you
time,
don't
it's
say
like, bro,
that.
you just can't like say.
I think
And then the
certain
TMZ
things.
guy ripped him.
he
Yeah,
ripped
as
him
he
with
should.
facts.
Van
Lathan
Lathan.
ripped
Yeah.
into him. I forget his name.
Van Lathan.
He's famous now, right?
Yeah.
Well, he was famous at
always,
the time.
Oh, was he?
always,
I didn't know
yeah.
about him.
He has his hands in different things. But I think with Kanye, like, he just went so far right. And he started to tap into different things, and he kind of started to realize that, the people who supported him at first, black people and, whatever, started to see these changes in him and didn't really fuck with him anymore. And I guess that's why, you remember on Life of Pablo, he made that song, I Miss the Old Kanye? I feel like that was the beginning of him evaluating himself. You know what I mean? And then people started listening to that song and started really being like, yeah, I really do miss the old Kanye.
And,
you know what I mean?
And him saying, I'm not going to make any more secular music. I'm just like, bro, I'm not. Like, that's fine. Like, whatever. But at the same time, like, I forget what song it was on the album. And I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I can tell what you really want to say on this.
Yeah, you can say
like, you're talking right now. You are talking. But you're making this image of yourself, and you're saying these things, like, to show that if you refound your faith, by all means, that's congratulations to, and that's a beautiful thing to do. Yeah. But at the same time, where are we going to be 2 years from now? What Kanye are we going to get then?
That's kind of a good thing, and a little, like, if you really think about it, because I like the fact that every album is different.
Yeah.
Every single album he's ever made has been
except for the first four. I think they all were very similar.
You think?
Well, they all had a theme.
Completely different than
that one. But they all kind of had a similar theme, like late registration, college dropout.
I still think they're
graduation.
Different. Like late registration.
It's evolution. There's an evolution between the albums, but like you can see the DNA and the imprint like in each one. Like, what song? Like, throw your motherfucking hand, hit 'em high. When you hear that song, and then you hear "Good Morning" on graduation, it's like the same pocket. Good morning. Mr. West.
It's the same thing. The core, tools that I guess Kanye has in his like music and stuff has always remained like sort of the same in the first.
Because he has a brilliant eye and ear for samples. So like it's amazing. It's immaculate. And I think Tyler the Creator is another one who rivals that. Like his sample choosing, but. Like even what was the last one? Ye? What was that album called?
Yeah.
It was Ye and Kids.
That's the one that we heard in.
Ghost.
That's the one we heard in Germany.
Yeah, the one
that dropped in Germany.
Ye, and then a week later it was Kids See Ghosts.
I like that one better, honestly.
I like Kids See Ghosts.
Yeah,
well.
I like Kids See Ghosts.
I feel like that was a companion piece.
But just like look at it, like just look at his lyrical content, and then he drops this, and it's like the most words spoken on this album, or like the most meaningful things, was from all the featured artists.
Yeah.
Well, no, like, Follow God has the most lyrical content.
Is that one with clips?
No, it's just him.
I don't think there's any cursing on this album at all.
He said he's not cursing anymore, which is that's fine. Like you don't have to curse to get your point.
No, of course. It's just I do think it limits what you can do rapping wise.
Yeah, well,
not
even because here's the thing, dude.
You think that
bro, he gave us Jesus Walks, like, so Kanye always had like. That's why I'm so confused with him saying he's not making any secular music, because like, dude, how can you say that when you made Jesus Walks?
Right.
Yeah.
One of the greatest hip hop songs of all time, and that's a gospel song.
Yeah, it's a gospel song.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Or that one song is like one fine morning.
What if this is just like a whole process that he kind of goes through to reinvent himself?
That's what I think.
That's just what it is. Like, it can be so far. Like, it's just cutting edge material that he's just putting out there to make you think, and you're like, wait, what is? Because right now, the question I have after listening to this album is, what's next? Like, what is he going through in this? Like, where's his mental state at right now?
That's why, like, I don't want to say he's illegitimate in what he's doing, because I don't want to be. What he talks about on the album, like Christian people judging him, it just seems
that was a really good song.
Yeah,
because that message, I actually agree with that 100%. That the most judgmental people tend to be
the people that
are supposed to be righteous and closer to God.
To be righteous, right? Yeah. So it's just like, for me to say if he's legitimate or not it's hard, right? I can only say what I saw. Like when he talked to Sway in the morning, and Sway was like, "What's with the sudden change?" And he goes, I went from making songs called like "You're Such a Blah Blah Blah," like "Ho Blah Blah Blah." He's like, he starts naming all the titles of his songs, right? And so he's cursing in some of them, And then he circles back to Sway's point, and he goes, "Oh, I cursed, didn't I?" And Sway was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I guess that's points off the Christian card." But like, he didn't say it like as a joke. He said it kind of like that's how he thinks he's supposed to be, like super squeaky clean. And that's where
ridiculous.
I saw the mask slip a little bit there when he said that. I was just like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is legit change. That doesn't sound like something that somebody who legitimately makes gospel music would say.
And also, just because you don't like
Just
your faith in God, that's a one-on-one relationship. That has nothing to do with other people and how we perceive you.
Religion anymore. I just kind of believe what I believe.
Right.
I do believe in God, if you know, whatever. But I just think it goes back to what you guys are saying. Christians, especially, are the most judgmental people. How can you tell someone else that they're, you know,
or the
they're
faith's not
fake,
strong
or
enough.
you're not religious, or you're not righteous? When in the Bible and stuff like that, and what God teaches is not to judge other people. That's left for Him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, that's just that. But as far as Kanye is concerned, do I think it's a mask? 100%.
Yeah.
It's part of. I think Kanye is smart as hell with marketing.
With marketing, that's
and
what I mean,
evolving.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he kind of like, you notice that when he drops an album, it's like he does a press run after.
Yeah.
To kind of clarify what has been happening.
Mm-hmm.
And he always has people thinking like, is he crazy or is he smart? Because he does a lot of explaining in his interviews, obviously.
Yeah.
So like, my whole thing is like, I think Kanye is smarter than what we give credit to him
100%.
for.
Yeah.
And I do think it's a tad bit of bipolarism in there, but
I
do think he's smarter than a lot of people give him credit.
And I'm just like thinking, I was like, was he always like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't remember if he was.
What do you mean always like that in what? Like
how
as cutting edge or just
no, just how
removed he is from being a normal person.
Yeah.
I feel like
he's always been that way though.
You think
I just
so?
don't remember.
Yes, 100%. This goes back to the George Bush don't care about black people shit. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Look at how he said, and like even
That's
2009, 10 years ago, the Taylor Swift stuff. I don't care if you were going off the Henny that night or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Which he was,
always,
though. He was.
But
He was
there's
big.
been examples of Kanye just being, so far from the center, So
I just think his issue, not even like his issue, just people's issue with him is like everyone looked at him as like, like kind of like a comrade, a brother, like an ally, and then everything that he stood up for 10 years ago, and
Let's
of course
talk about
people can evolve and change, and like I don't know, it's
delve
like
deeper into that though. Like, first of all, why are we like putting people on this like
pedestal,
like whether it be like political activism or just like, this is gonna go off the tangent a little bit, but it kind of is the same thing. Like, you remember when recently when Ellen was with George Bush?
Yeah,
it's like, oh, she doesn't stand for anything anymore because she's hanging out. Like,
yeah,
I think
I know where you're going with this.
I think when Kanye, like, this is why I support when Kanye was going on his whole MAGA rant and stuff like that. I didn't look at the headline. I look at what he was trying to say in the middle of all that, and he was trying to say like, be a free thinker, think for yourself, do what you want to do. It doesn't make you different than what people perceive you as. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I think that like trying to understand everyone else and other people is not a bad thing. Like, if this guy is wearing a MAGA hat, ask him why. Why do you?
I just think
whatever.
I think what the issue
is
is that there is a level of like ignorance and just trolling that does become with like the MAGA thing. Like
what that Kanye is doing?
No, not even just Kanye, just like the movement itself. Like,
oh
Make
yeah,
America Great.
Come on, yeah, for sure.
And like, even though he says he doesn't align himself with the people, it's like, well, perceptually, you kind of are.
I always looked at it like this. I just thought that he was just boys with Trump, and that's what.
But they all were though, because before Trump became this
that's what I mean. Regardless,
like bigot,
right?
Black people would say, "Yo, I'm trying to get money like Donald Trump." Like, come on, bro.
Regardless of the president thing, I just feel like he was tight with him. Like, that's his friend.
Yeah.
I feel like him wearing a Made in America,
MAGA hat.
I feel like him wearing a MAGA hat, or whatever it's called. I feel like that's just him just being like if you had some kind of clothing line and I wore it, that's what it is.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what it was for him. I don't feel like he made this huge political statement.
But what I think is that
Trump
I don't think he did
gave me a
either,
hat.
bro.
yeah, but it's just like the thing that people have problems with is
It's
like
because he stood
in
for
certain areas.
blackness. Yeah.
Well, in certain areas of like America, Make America Great Again means a different thing.
Oh yeah.
Like when you hear
It's an excuse to be racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think that's why a lot of people have problems. Like there are areas in this country that people who are shouting "Make America Great Again" have like mean it.
Yeah.
Like, and they wholeheartedly want to make America great. And like one of my best friends in college, he stands by, and we were talking about it, and he says, you know, whatever. I barely listen half the time, but
I get what you're saying.
But and then you have other parts of the country where it's like Make America Great Again is associated with.
Well, that's the point that Oz is bringing up. It's
shit.
like you see somebody side with that ideology. You don't know what aspect of that ideology they side with particularly, and you don't know what their reasoning is. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I think people are just disappointed.
There's just a lot of animosity.
Yeah, but like here's my thing with goes back to what Kanye was saying. It's like he's a free thinker. If he chooses to wear the MAGA hat, let it be. But I'm not gonna scold him for it. Like that's not what makes him my friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like as long as you're not out here fucking killing babies and doing shit like that, like bro, if that's how you feel like express it and which way you feel like expressing it, go ahead and do that over there. I'm not gonna focus it on that side, but you still my boy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think as we mature and being adults, it's like we can disagree on certain things. You know what I mean? Like if you like, you know, I don't know, if you have a certain view in the political world about something that I may disagree with, we can, you know, vehemently like disagree, but you're still my boy.
Yeah, I always look at it
Until it gets to a certain point.
Until it gets to a certain point.
Yeah. Well,
but we'll tackle that when it gets there.
Does your ideology affect how you interact and treat other people? That's the first thing I look at. Like, all right, you have a certain system of belief. Like, there are probably Satanist people that are super nice and will help like an old lady cross the street, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you got to look at, does what they believe affect how they treat other people? That's how I look at it first, you know?
No, I don't think it's like necessarily like I just hate how like politics can get in the way with like how you are as a person though. Like I mean, it's easy to see how it can be misconstrued, but I don't think it necessarily is a truth in every case.
No, that's why like with him, I feel like people read too deep into it because he's always on TV and like he's in front of everybody. Like he's just
must be hard to be in that spotlight, bro.
I mean, that's why he got crazy. Remember, he was going off about the liposuction and stuff. And
oh
whoa! Like why are you doing
DMT?
This? He was getting so transparent, and it's just because you know when you feel naked.
And I think that's
vulnerable.
what people want to know. So like, we just want transparency. We just want to know because if you do something outlandish, like if you did something crazy, I'd be like, yeah, why'd you do that? Or like, what was your reasoning? Like, I'm not gonna. I just want to know what you were thinking. Like, if it was something that was so controversial, like you would just be like.
I think you should have dialed back a little bit though, because remember when he was going through that like MAGA thing, he was on TMZ. It looked like a clown to me.
No,
because,
he was going crazy.
Because he was like
a clown.
I remember there was times where he was trying to explain his reasoning, and he wasn't educated on it. He's like, I text my friend, and he told me this is what it means. So like, bro, like,
it was the same thing when he was on Ellen, where he's like, who's gonna be the Medici family and step up and give me the money that I need to make affordable clothing? I'm just like, what is he talking about?
You know what also was crazy that he said? I did see this clip on the Sway. I think it was Sway it was Big Boy's Neighborhood. Kanye was saying, "Oh, I don't care what like Black Twitter says of me or what they think of me," and then Big Boy was like, well, do you care what Twitter says? And Kanye was like, yeah. And I was like,
that is a pretty weird moment.
I was like, bro, that's kind of.
That's a pretty weird moment.
That's kind of.
Throwing the towel, Kanye.
I was like, that's kind of buffoonery, right? Like that's kind of.
What he should have said is like, I'm a free thinker. I don't care what anyone says.
Right.
There you go. But you're just making it seem like you're subscribing to the
that also sounds like a Kanye West thing to say. Like, I don't care what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because he's married into a white family? Do you think that matters?
I don't think it does.
No,
I don't think. I think they think he's crazy, low key.
Yeah,
probably.
Because when he said that, I was like, yo, what happened to this guy? When he said that, I was like, bro, that sounds crazy. Like I said, people can evolve over 10 years, but they can also like just de-evolve in thinking. I was like you said, if you don't care what anyone thinks, then keep that across the board. Like, don't just feel like you don't care what your own. It's almost like self-hate. Like when I heard him say that, I was like, it doesn't affect me, but I'm just like,
clip.
But I'm thinking,
when was that?
It was on Big Boy's Neighborhood. Like
it was recently.
Week.
Yeah, it was like last week.
A couple days ago, last week.
Weird.
Damn, that's crazy. That's like blowing my mind now.
That's why I'm like just trying to like I don't know how to perceive like Kanye anymore. Because like when I heard him say that, I was like, so I used to be a big ass fan.
Let me find that.
Yeah, I used to be a big fan, and like we could probably both say that we're not the biggest Kanye fans anymore.
Yeah, I mean, his music definitely brought me a lot of joy, and it still does.
Yeah,
like I do go back. I went back and revisited Late Registration and Graduation, and I almost shed a tear.
Yeah,
because I'm like, dude, this is like
My Beautiful Dark
music.
Twisted Fan. Like, I'll talk about that till the cows come home.
Yeah.
But think about
so
this:
recent,
someone that like you would defend, right? When people are saying all this crazy shit about someone and you defend them.
I still defend them to an extent, but like.
But when he says shit like that, that's hard to defend.
That. You can't
defend that.
Oh, I can't find a clip of it. It's the whole episode though. It's like a 40-minute episode.
Yeah, I saw it trending on Twitter when you said that, and I was like,
you gotta relax. You kind of just
like,
just tone it down.
But at the same time, it's like, I just hope.
He's definitely bipolar, like I
Kim,
said.
I just hope that Kim is like helping him out or like putting his shit on blast to him behind closed doors without the cameras and shit. Like just like,
I feel like he's the one that calls the shots. I mean, I have no idea, but I would just
no matter who calls the shots at women. To me, women always they got the most power.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
That's a powerful family that he's involved in.
Yeah,
he's very powerful.
Very powerful.
Very powerful.
And I'm just like, I'm just hoping that someone close to him is not afraid to be like, Kanye, what the fuck are you doing?
Kid Cudi, man. Kid Cudi could slap him.
At
the same time, Kid Cudi just be off DMT and like he's just like in his like he separates himself.
Though.
Like, look at everyone at good music; they just separate themselves from him.
Yeah,
like it's so weird.
But they all
to
respect him though. See, the one thing about Kanye, as crazy as he can be and stuff, and like who he supports and whatever, he's always respected by everyone in the rap music. And like like I can't sit here and shit on him and be like, yo, man, terrible. Like he's not an innovator. He is. He's probably the most innovative person we've ever seen.
That's why, like, you can't deny that he's great in what he does. It's just like he doesn't express what he's thinking very well.
Yeah, he's not really good at expressing.
He can't articulate.
That's what's just so hard. But
that's why you think he's autistic, right?
Yeah, I 100%.
He can express his art
or
express it in an art form, but when it comes to talking, he can't express it.
He's awkward. But the thing is, you would never. If you never listen to an interview and you just listen to his music, you'd be like, oh, this guy is probably just like super cool. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then when you hear him talk, you're like, wait, you're the same guy that raps and makes these songs?
Yeah.
What?
Bro,
that's why I think he's autistic. Because it's like two different characters.
He had a Kenny G
he's so
solo
smooth in his
on there,
art
bro.
and just so like awkward.
Bro, he put a Kenny G solo on the album. The saxophone part, and at the end of the clip song, I'm listening. I'm like, bro, this is fucking beautiful.
The saxophone part in "Use This Gospel."
Is that the clip song?
Yeah.
Bro, and then you hear that.
It's crazy he's the one doing it because it's like you almost feel like Kanye can't do that no more.
Right.
Like when he did his production on Daytona.
Oh, he was
my
in his bag.
Jesus! Like, how can you be so
just
great like that all the time? Like
he was in his bag.
Oh my
I had a friend that went to a Sunday service at Coachella where he was doing like the Sunday service.
I heard that he was just flipping songs. That's all he was doing. He was just like taking popular songs and his own songs and just making them like to.
But it was a vibe though in those clips. It was a vibe.
That's what I was about to say. My friend said it was super lit. Like, it was just amazing. People were going crazy.
He does shit like that to. Bro, it's crazy how this man, like, he's like 40 something now, like 41 or something.
Let me look that up.
And he can just always find a way to grab people.
Yeah.
Back. Every fucking time.
Hopefully.
He's 42.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah, he's 42.
Yeah,
is he still beefing with Drake?
Nah, who knows?
Who knows, man?
Yeah.
I saw Drake wearing something like in like an ode to him, kind of like.
Recently?
Yeah. So I guess they might have talked it out. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember reading those tweets like, wow, this is getting pretty crazy, dude. They're going at each other's throat.
Bro, then I wanted to hear, like Pusha T gave us one of the. We're in Germany for that.
Yeah. It was crazy.
You're hiding a child. Let that boy come home. Yeah. When you heard that deadbeat motherfucker, when you heard him say that, you're like,
it was
we
crazy.
were in Airbnb and we were like
it was crazy, bro. That whole moment, the build up and everything was crazy. It's like that's one of the craziest moments in hip hop recently that I've ever seen.
I was gonna say,
it reminds me of like how what hip hop is.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
very in your face.
And then I wanted to hear that Drake response so bad. I wanted to hear it.
Nah, man. I think I don't know.
And then what's his name goes on the whole press run saying that. Oh, I told
Yo,
Drake,
have you read about that like family though? Like, dude.
Well, I know that they got like, literally
connected.
mob ties.
Jay Prince and Jazz Prince, Jay Prince, they're from Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Well connected, like. So I think it probably could have led down something crazy.
Someone dying.
Not someone dying, but just
Not today, bro. That stuff. I feel like that doesn't really happen in the big hip hop scene. Like that doesn't really happen.
Yeah, but I think it could happen, but not like directly. Like Drake won't be affected, Pusha T won't be affected, but his boys
Someone
Yeah.
in his
knows
camp.
it will be.
Because it still does happen.
Oh, it happened to X.
Yeah,
You know.
it happens to a lot of people. Like Chicago, like a lot of artists will,
Yeah.
you know, during that whole Joe era.
Looking back on the X thing, man, I just think I'm just like, it's just stupidity sometimes too.
What?
Like, you know, you're hot. Like, you are hot in the streets no matter what. And you don't roll around with security. Like, and I get it. Like, some people want to, you know, not do that. But, like, that could have been prevented to me.
Yeah, man.
And driving around in the hood with the
I8,
yeah,
with
like,
the doors, like,
come on, man.
yeah, you
like,
gotta be smart.
That's also the thing about being young, though, right? It's like a lot of these people who are super successful, they're also super young and they're not really experienced, not only in the industry but in life. Like when when I met Lil Uzi, you know, he was rolling around Philadelphia in a sick car, you know, but he had
Where'd you meet
security.
him?
He had security with him in my neighborhood. He was chilling for a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Philadelphia, as I was talking with him. But yeah, like he was rolling around in a nice car, but he had 3 people with him.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
3
Big dudes.
Big dudes.
You have to
Yeah.
be smart.
And that's that's him being smart.
Oh, you
That's
talked to him? Was he cool,
that's not
dude?
being a punk. Yeah, he was awesome, man. He was just really breaking down life and what it's been like getting as famous as he is at such a young age.
Yeah.
And just talking about how like that's really made time pass fast for him. So like when he comes and visits home, it's kind of disturbing for him how he sees his siblings and stuff get so old, and he's like, "Oh snap! Like I haven't been around."
Yeah, I haven't been around.
It was cool. Yeah, it was cool getting that
would
human
trip me
angle
out
from
if I
him.
saw
Yeah,
that.
man.
You haven't been around because you don't see yourself age every day.
I think it's a different struggle. Like, you know how, like, us regular folk, we aspire to have all the money, you know, not all the fame, but, like,
Yeah.
let's say I was,
Success.
yeah, you want to get successful. You
Yeah.
want to, and I feel like when you get there and you reach that, like, top of Mount Everest, it's weird dealing with all the things you wanted and plus even more.
Right.
Like, say if I was like a underground artist and I just want to reach that peak, right? And I reach it and I have all the fans, all the girls. It's like, what am I chasing in life now? I have everything. I can go here, I can go there. I could fucking fly out my family, my friends. Like, what is there to life after that?
See, that's the thing. So if you're comfortable with the idea of kicking back, then that's awesome because now you can be like, I don't have to do anything. I can just do a podcast and people will pay and listen to me talk.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
famous I am. But you're so driven. That's the reason why you are where you are.
Yeah.
So you're not in kickback mode.
Yeah,
So
you're
you
not.
you know what I'm saying? Like the very thing that got you there is not going to serve you once you're at the top.
Yeah,
of the
it's not going to.
You know?
So it just kind of changes your whole perspective on
Right.
life. It's like, what are we really aspiring? Like, you know how
Right.
everyone's like, oh, financial freedom. This, like, what, like, I know when people say money it doesn't buy happiness, it really doesn't.
No.
Like, fame doesn't buy happiness. Nothing that really equates to true happiness. But it's like, when I see these celebrities going crazy and shit, I understand why.
Yeah, bro. Especially,
And a lot of
especially
them
now.
blow up at young ages, like at a young age. So it's like Justin Bieber, bro, for example,
Yeah.
bro. Remember when he had his
He was
deal
going
with
through
like
some
the
shit.
law and stuff like that, and going crazy on camera, and like a lot of celebrities, Lindsay Lohan, all those people.
Miley Cyrus, all these people.
You have everything,
Right.
And you have all these people that you have to kind of like appease and be like a role model to, and that's fucks with your mental, bro.
Well, yeah, because it limits who you think you can be.
Yeah.
And as a human, you're like, I don't want to be what you tell me to be.
Also,
I wanna be in
too,
control.
us three here, we can like sit back and like disappear for a bit,
Disappear
and nobody
forever,
would,
yeah.
nobody would really care.
Yeah.
You know, like we can kick back and live a low key life. But like Beyonce can't be like, all right, I want to be low key. Let me just go to Wawa real quick.
No.
Nah, you got 1,000 people waiting. They know you're there already.
Yeah.
You know.
There's no going back.
I can't
That's the
imagine
thing.
with having that type of lifestyle. It's
I would
like
hate
being like one of the top tier like entertainers.
I would hate
Like,
it, bro.
It still blows
Give
my
me the
mind
money,
that
though,
but I
Leonardo DiCaprio still rides a bike like to exercise around New
Yeah.
York City.
You see Adam Sandler, bro. Shorts, Starbucks coffee, like just regular, like no iPods, just with the fucking wire.
Yeah.
Regular, bro. Dude's worth damn near $1 billion, chilling.
I mean, that's how you stay under the radar, though. That's how you avoid paparazzi and chill.
And then people want to clown him, like, oh look at this bum, bro. He can buy your whole like family
not
home.
only that,
bro.
yeah, but what makes you think that he wants to be seen? So I
Yeah.
feel like as a lot of kids, a lot of young people are like, yo, I'm gonna be rich and famous. Just try and be rich. I
Yeah.
feel like the famous thing is just not worth it, man.
You kill yourself trying to be famous, bro.
Not only that, but it's a short lifespan. Once you're done with that fame thing, you get spit out. And when I mean you get spit out, like it drops. No one cares
That's
about you
another
anymore.
thing too, is coming down from it. You know how people who were relevant at one point, you have all the fame, and then like being just a normal person. That's another mental thing too, because
I can name
it's
a million
like
artists, man.
I'm irrelevant
A million
now.
artists I can name. Yeah. And so that's what really sucks. It sucks to not be like rich and famous if that's what you really want, but it even sucks worse when you were rich and famous at one time and now you're not.
Yeah, no, you're
that's
not.
10
That's
times more
worse.
painful.
That's
That's
a horrible
even more
thing.
painful.
You go
man.
from not being able to walk around to
Yeah.
go ahead. You can walk.
Yeah,
wherever
go
you want.
ahead. Oh, it's Chingy or who? Like I don't care about him.
Yeah. The pattern, man, I think is, and this is just looking at people who I admire who are rich and famous that are cool, is just having a good support system. People that aren't in your ear on some weird stuff. People that actually support you and be like, yo, you're tripping, or yo, I love you, or they tell you what you need to hear in that moment, man.
Yeah.
So if you have a good support system, you're cool. But a lot of these people, man, they're young, so they have young friends, and they're just
All
like,
doing
yo,
the same dumb shit.
Ray, can you put me on with this? Yo, can you hook me up with that?
Yeah,
And
we
before
got
you know it,
girls
it's like,
coming.
oh, I don't have any friends. They just want the favors that I can do them now because
Yeah,
I'm rich.
yeah.
So then they throw away
That's
all their real
another.
friends.
That's another struggle too. Like,
Right.
well, this is different, but the Tekashi situation. Like,
Do you think he'll ever, like, when he comes out? Do you think that he'll be able to like do anything that makes him money?
Yes.
Really?
because of the time we live in.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%.
You don't think he's been clowned to the point where like he can't come back?
But that's why, because think about it, right?
because that's what happened to Bow Wow. Right?
Everyone's waiting to see if he's gonna do it. So we're already expecting music.
He's not gonna do it.
So if let's say he drops a song and it leaks. Oh, Tekashi drops a song. We're all gonna listen to it because
That's
we want to
true.
see what the fuck he's talking about. Because, and then there's another group of people, right? That 13-year-old kids and whatever. Yo, man, like, who cares if he snitched, bro? Like, downloading this shit.
Yeah, dude.
I'm going to the show. You know what I mean? So, fuck yeah, he gonna make money.
Dang. All right.
If he wants to do movies, he can do movies.
I
Just
didn't
be a
think
clown
about
in
it like
everyone.
that. I didn't think about it like that.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Social
It's
media
kinda amazing.
and and kind of maneuvering through this world and shit, like when it comes to like fame and stuff, it has nothing to do with like what any dirt you have on you. It's everything about like your likability and the impact that you kind of laid. Like before he got locked up and shit and got involved and is known as a rat now, he was on top of the hip hop world, bro.
Yeah.
Like hit after hit after hit
Hit
after
after
hit.
hit.
And his troll game was crazy. We all
Troll
thought
game
he
was
was funny.
crazy, yeah.
Like he'd come back and be like, "Yo, but it still sucked my dick though.
Yeah.
I snitched, but it still suck." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The real OG's gonna think he's corny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think he's corny. We all,
The
you know.
memes were crazy though. The memes were funny.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he was so clowned on. I feel like
Yeah.
just like he was just dunked on over and over again.
That's
And-
why you don't try to like. I felt bad for him now because you know he's probably a misguided kid, didn't have a father and shit, and just
Yeah.
got into the rap world and then being in the streets already.
Mm.
It's easy for like these old heads who are in the gang shit to be like, "Yo, bro, we'll protect you." Like you know the rap game is crazy. Like you know. You got so caught up in it because you had security. You thought you could just tell everyone to suck your dick and be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then these motherfuckers were conspiring to kill you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bro, that
I would
video,
rat too.
that video of him getting kidnapped was crazy.
It was crazy.
I was like, God damn.
It was crazy, bro. They had to fucking call the
Like,
thing.
and
on
you know
Spanish.
they were legit because he was in a regular like Uber or whatever he was in. They
Yeah.
just pulled up like guns to the driver, guns to him. Like, yo, get out the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were gonna kill him, bro. I would have snitched too, bro. I'm
I
be
still want to know
honest.
how he got out. I don't remember how he got away.
He, by the grace of God, bro, they were gonna smoke his ass.
I don't remember how he got
was the
away.
reason he got away. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can see what you're saying that like when he comes out, it's just gonna be general intrigue to be okay. Has your view changed at all? Has your style changed? Like, what do you have to say now? But I just feel like there's not gonna be any longevity. Like, there's gonna be
There's
initial-
not.
Yeah, and then he's just gonna have to fade. I feel like that's
Yeah, he's gonna fade, but like,
He already declined witness protection.
also,
Really?
bro, have you realized the trend that goes on whenever a rapper gets incarcerated and comes out, their clout level, like, cause, bro,
Yeah.
all this shit.
just
like,
ads.
Back in the day, bro, like we fucked with the artists that we fuck with based upon true talent. It's not about that no more, bro. It's about how cutting edge you can be.
Really?
So the fact that this guy, rainbow hair motherfucker, snitched on all his friends and shit, or his friends, gets out, like that's a whole story to be told. Whether it takes a year, 2, 3, he's gonna fade off eventually,
yeah,
but
we
it's the build up to when he gets out now. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? That's what people care about.
Yeah.
Academics is gonna help it out as well. You know, Academics gonna be like, yo, Tekashi's out, because he's the one that got him on initially.
Right.
So.
So people really now it's more about the drama and the story too. I guess is what you're saying.
Storyline. It's wrestling.
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of interested in that though.
I am. I want to see how this
Well, I am
unfolds.
too. Yeah, that's why we're talking about it. Like,
Yeah,
we
bro.
do want to see what's going to happen next.
Because-
Sometimes it ain't even about the music. I'm just like, what's the background behind this?
Yo, that's what's gonna make this dude relevant again.
Yeah,
though.
man. Hold on, Sheldon, could you bring that a little closer to your face?
We're-
Not bad, bro.
It's gonna
Andrew,
fall.
listen, bro.
I think it's gonna fall.
We're the ones
Never
that
mind. Are we good?
put money in Bad Baby's fucking pockets.
That baby's awesome, man.
You think she's dope?
Oh, I thought we were talking about who's
Bad
the
Bunny?
I was
artist?
about to say, be careful.
No. I'm talking about who's the artist right now? Baby. There's Baby and Lil Baby.
Yeah,
Da Baby.
Oh, Da Baby. Yeah.
No, I'm talking
I like
about
him. I like him.
I'm talking about that girl.
I
who
thought her
was-
name was Bad Barbie. Is Bad Baby?
I think. Yeah, I think
Bad
Bad Barbie. It might be Bad
Catch
Barbie.
Me
I'm
Outside. How
Man,
about that?
Oh, her.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I was about to say, be careful
No,
what you're about to
I'm
say.
saying-
no,
But
bro.
I'm saying we're the ones. When I say we're the ones, not us directly, but the people who are on Instagram every day and shit like that, reposting, tweeting, we're the ones who made her famous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Made her a
she's-
lot of money.
Listen, her music's gonna fade off, like, you know, a lot of these artists, but
Mm.
she's gonna live on because she's still in the media. She just got into a fight with
I
some
saw that.
girl.
I don't know
We
who
all
the
saw, see,
person-
you
I
saw
have
it. You
no
weren't
idea who
even
the
looking
person
for
was.
it. You weren't even looking
No,
for
I
it.
was told about it on
You were
Twitter.
told about it, or you saw it on your timeline. You just clicked it. Like, bro, this gives people so much,
Yeah.
like, relevancy. Like,
Well, that was the whole Boot Gang thing, right? Like, he was just
Yeah.
everywhere because
He's
he's doing
sober
crazy
now.
stuff. Yeah, I watched an interview with him recently. He's like, I don't
so
do
did
any of
I.
that stuff anymore. Like, I'm not even blah blah blah. Cut to remember the time he was on an interview and he had a gun.
Yeah.
And he was just there and the guy was like, please do not bring. He goes, please do not bring the gun.
Was
to
that
the
was
studio."
that no
Adam
jumper?
22?
Was that no jumper?
He takes the gun out and he goes, don't worry, bro, I'm not gonna shoot you. Points it at the guy and the guy literally goes like this. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so
Yeah.
uncomfortable watching
Tattoos
this.
on his face.
Cut to
Yeah.
now. The guy who interviewed him.
Yeah.
I think so.
And then
You gotta look it up.
yeah, it was Adam 22.
But yeah, man, the cut to now where he's just like totally calm. So
Dude,
that's what
and coherent too. Whatever I saw the interview or clip that he put out, and
Yeah.
like you could just hear his speech, whereas before you couldn't even make out a damn thing he was saying.
Yeah.
and my bad. What were you about to say?
No, go ahead.
No, I know you guys. You guys didn't listen to Danny Brown album. I'm not sure if you didn't. It's called "You Know What I'm Saying." And I just checked it out, and he's just like a lot more subdued. My point is that like,
Better than Triple X?
huh?
Better than Triple X?
I can't. Speak
No,
on
the
that.
second his second album. What was the one after
Atrocity.
Triple X? That one was
No,
fire.
the one with Dip on it? Is
Yeah.
that the one?
Yeah.
Well, what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
that's-
what I'm about to say is those albums are super hype. Like he's like very loud.
Check!
That's my
energetic.
favorite Danny.
Mike, check.
At the Adderall.
Yeah,
Sipping
yeah.
Holy Mac Russia.
Dick suck my
dick like a strap-on
satchel.
You're not really gonna get that in this album. Like,
Check!
He goes hard, but it's not like hype
Bro,
like that. You know what I'm saying?
The
He
wordplay.
must have been on Perks
no,
or something.
he's rapping his face off. But
Was
it's
he on
not-
Perks back then?
He definitely
I
was
don't know.
on something.
Was he on something?
Here's a fun fact about him. Do you know he didn't get signed until he was 35?
Yeah.
Isn't he
crazy.
like 39 now? How old is he?
He's like 40, I think. He's from Detroit.
Yeah.
He came out late, right?
Yeah, he was a late bloomer, bro. But yo,
Sounds like
some of that.
Who else is
Some
late?
of those
J.
bars
Cole.
would fucking go crazy. Like that shit would just
38.
go over my head, bro. Like when
Yeah,
I was-
no.
when I was
Which
young.
one is it to keep it
He was awesome.
Oh,
It's
which one is it?
It's just going down.
a little bit?
Uh,
It's got to bring it up a little higher.
I think. Is there a knob on there? I don't think there's a
Check.
knob.
I said. No, I'm
You're
sorry.
cool. I'm just gonna put the volume. That's it. But yeah, man. My point is
Let me
that
see what albums I've been listening to.
my point is that he's a little more subdued now, and I feel like that's how Kanye West is. He's a little more subdued now. All these people who we consider to be wild, they're like kind of calming down.
You got Run the Jewels on there.
Yeah, he was
J
on.
Peg Mafia too.
Yeah, that album. I highly
Is it better
recommend.
than Atrocity Exhibition or?
Again, it's very different. Those albums are awesome. I just like this as more of like a new kind of Danny Brown sound.
Okay.
Mm.
And there's some really, really awesome beats on there.
I'm
like,
definitely
amazing.
gonna check it out. I'm a huge
Do you know who produced it?
No, I don't. I'm checking it out right now.
Yeah, man.
But that's what I've been listening to.
What
So-
I've been listening to is
Oh,
what
you know
I
what I've been
listened
listening to?
Who?
He's probably one of my favorite rappers right now, like Maxo Cream
Yeah?
from Houston. I'm talking about if you want Houston rap, like he dropped a banger. It's called Brandon Banks. It's about his dad getting locked up and shit, like at a young age, street life and shit, and he's just rapping about it. Like I love that. this is my favorite thing about like rap, right? Is that you can reinvent and sound modern with and keeping the same script. Like, you know, one thing that I love about hip hop growing up was that listening to an album from top to bottom, it kept the theme, but every song was kind of different. There was something that were the same. Like,
it's like watching a movie.
Are you back to doing it? Because I remember you used to just put it on shuffle.
What?
With new albums.
Do
you still put on shuffle or you go top?
No, I don't do the shuffle. I just listen to it
top down,
top to bottom. I always kind of did that. I just shuffle like after this first to see if I can like piece it together still.
Yeah.
But Master Cream, he keeps the modernized sound, like the 808s, the beats. All his beats are very modern, but he keeps the same theme. There's a song you probably heard. It's called "Meet Again." He's talking about when he meets his dad again, when he gets like out of
good
jail.
Song.
Great song.
Great song.
Oh, it's
is it like a somber song or is it like kind of hype?
It gets hype at certain points.
Yeah.
But it's like the beats like really, really Houston and just everything. But I've been listening to him.
You're really in Houston music right now, right?
Dude, I love Houston music. That's my favorite sound in hip hop ever.
Really?
Ever. I love the Chopped and Screwed stuff. I love DJ Screw, Slim Thug, Paul Wall was dope, Chameleon was dope.
Chameleon.
Fucking
man, I haven't heard that name.
everybody.
It's OG. What would you say
Scarface,
your favorite?
like everybody, bro.
What's your favorite regional sound in rap?
Oh man, I'm just kind of like more East Coast.
Boom bap.
Yeah, I'm definitely boom bap, man. Like I said, I just got done listening to the new Gangstar album that was released posthumously.
Yeah,
Is that what it's called?
That's how you say it.
Yeah, they used a bunch of his like unused vocals. Like that is something.
Yeah, Guru's insane, dog.
It's just, you know what? He's not really super lyrical, but he just like
what
he says.
But he also has a great voice.
Rapping voice.
That rap voice, man. That's a thing.
He is a great.
You hear a rap voice and you talk just like that gritty. You could tell he smoked like 10 cigarettes.
Dude,
or something.
That's the key to like. That's what kind of gets me into a lot of different like artists is like the rapping voice. Like the baby, the reason why he has so much like mystique or not mystique, a lot of likability.
He really do be rapping at like .001 on the song.
He started rapping at 1 second. Like but it's just like his voice is such a rapping voice.
Yeah, he has a very nice rap voice.
Yeah,
he's taken over and rightfully so.
No,
his album's good.
It's really, really good.
Kirk, that was a really good album.
The intro, I love that shit. If I love
you,
then
I need you.
I love you when it's Gino. That shit's hard.
Yeah, man. But I'm more into East Coast stuff, man, and lo-fi and just
lo-fi's dope.
A lot of Stones Throw, kind of older Stones Throw stuff.
Does lo-fi come from Japan?
No,
because I know that was a huge thing of the acid, like a lot of acid jab. That's I found that out. I didn't know that was that subgenre of music was created in like Tokyo.
Do you know who
in like the 80s or 90s?
You know what put me on a lo-fi? It was this cover
YouTube
artist.
channel with the girl doing her homework.
Shiloh Dynasty.
No, I don't. I know who that. Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah.
Because every lo-fi beat that I would listen to and shit, it would take a sample. X actually used her on his song Jocelyn Flores.
Yeah.
That's her.
Yeah. That's pretty dope.
Amazing voice, but lo-fi totally took her
lo-fi
covers and like that's how I heard about it.
That all originated from Detroit, so that's
lo-fi was from Detroit.
Jay Dilla is like the father of that sound.
Hope his family getting royalties from all this shit.
Dilla?
Well, it's the most popular probably sound of music today.
Yeah,
honestly.
he's also one of the biggest hip hop producers of all time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That sound was definitely born from him.
I didn't think lo-fi was coming from Detroit.
That's crazy. I would never think that.
Yeah, I mean, and then of course, Japanese people have accommodated that sound. Like when you listen to New Jabez and stuff, like that's all a tribute to that sound. And then they kind of took that over.
Yeah, and then that's where I was saying it bled into acid jazz. Where acid jazz is.
I have not listened to acid jazz.
You've heard acid jazz. If you heard it,
I'm just not cognizant of it.
Yeah,
okay.
you know it as soon as you hear it. Like literally, as soon as you hear acid jazz song, you're like, I know this type of genre.
Let me put on some acid jazz.
You ever
type in a Persona 5 opening song?
To this group
That's an acid jazz song. Persona 5 opening song.
You ever listen to this group called Vancouver Sleep Clinic?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
they nice.
Vancouver Sleep Clinic.
Yeah,
that's a dope name.
Yeah, they literally it's like very calm music. I put it on to sleep. The reason why I found out about them
is it like a sleep station type thing?
No,
like the music's made to put you to sleep.
No, it can though. It's good for that, but like it relaxes you. Bro.
Already the art associated with this is like it's kind of trippy. Let me put this on.
What song is it?
Someone to Stay.
Who's this by?
Vancouver Sleep Clinic.
I love them, bro.
I can get in this kind of mood.
Yeah.
I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Submotion Orchestra is another band that sounds kind of like
Cigarettes After Sex.
Cigarettes
Yeah.
After Sex.
Bro, this
They're
shit
really
puts
good.
me in like, yo,
Put you in a different place.
oh my gosh. I'm getting goosebumps right now listening to that.
Do you you can sleep to music?
Yeah.
Does
Oh,
it,
100%.
Does it affect your dreams and stuff like that?
Nah.
I hope it does.
It puts me in a very.
I want it to.
I go to sleep like in a euphoric state. It's weird.
Really?
Weird as fuck.
Mhm.
Like my mood is. I wake up and I'm like energized.
Bliss. You just feel bliss.
Really? I
I
should
love
try
this
that.
shit.
I've never been
Put
able
on,
to do
put
it.
Play
on,
this shit.
Dude, this
Yeah.
song is pretty cool.
I love it.
put on. I want to share the Acid Jazz song because as soon as you hear it, you'll know exactly what it is.
I feel like I listened to the Persona 5.
Probably had to, or just type in Acid Jazz.
Dude.
As soon as you hear it, you'll be like, okay, I can see how, because it's type of music that was played in cafes. Whatever song you just were about to play, that song sounded kind of fire.
Oh, this
This
kinda
is
stuff?
Acid
Oh, yeah,
Jazz.
yeah,
This
is
is
like-
Acid Jazz.
This is it.
Yeah, this is my shit.
This sounds like something that you'd hear like in a TV show where they're like,
Bro, put this on when you're at work, when you're behind, you'll get caught up.
really?
You'll get
Yo,
caught
I
up.
feel like I can get shit done doing
You'll
this,
get
bro.
caught up.
I can clean the house.
No, when I clean the
do
house,
car detail
when I clean the house, this is what I put on.
and do everything in like 5 minutes,
Dude,
bro.
don't you now with like AirPods? Don't you realize like before you're about to do something menial, like wash your clothes, like you put something on? You can't do it with
Yo,
music
I
or-
know.
It's
I
so
thought I was
crazy.
the only one. I'm about to cop the new AirPods, the cancellation.
249, the pros.
Bro, I'm about to.
Hear that right there? That little sax.
Yeah,
You know, that's getting a little.
it's grooving.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'll be clean. I'm like,
Put some jazz into it.
Just move it.
You might throw your head back.
I'll be getting the Windex.
Bro, this sounds like that commute music, man. Like you're on the train,
Bro.
in your car.
How do you think you gotta improve the? You gotta improve the
I was
day.
looking the whole dance.
Yo.
Yeah, yo.
Write that song down because I want you to send me that.
Yo,
I gotta fuck
literally,
with that.
literally, this video is called Acid Jazz Classics Volume 2 on YouTube.
So this, how I'm
This
pretty
is when you start
sure.
cleaning shit real fast. You start going crazy. Doing 2 dishes at the same time.
Yeah,
or 2
bro.
plates.
Yeah, have you ever heard of Cigarettes After Sex?
No,
They're They're
Who's it by?
no,
Is
they're
it
a
called
group.
Cigarettes?
Yeah, they're called Cigarettes After Sex.
Dude, there's a lot of you know how people like have this.
Bro,
whole
you're
stigma
gonna
that
just
music's dead?
go on their new album and just play the first song. You're gonna hear it and you're gonna be like, like you said, euphoric state. As soon as you hear it, you're gonna be like, yeah, let me add this to my
Alright,
sleep
I'm
playlist.
looking at Fallen in Love, Heavenly Apocalypse. Does any of this ring a bell to you?
Put on,
Nothing's Gonna Hurt You Baby's the new album.
yeah. No, the new album's called Cry, Cigarettes After Sex, and put on,
I already know this.
put on, Don't Let Me Go, by Cigarettes After Sex.
I got you.
I might have to download and play it tonight. Oh yeah, he got me.
Yeah. So you hear that? Wait until you hear this voice. You're gonna hear this voice. You're gonna be like, yo,
It's
add this.
weird because I can go from like listening to hard ass music to like shit like this.
Well, that's how your brain works. That's why I think like all that stuff works. Because there's moments where you're just chilling and vegging out, and there's moments where like you're really, really.
You know who else falling asleep a lot too? That group you put me on earlier this year. The one you went to their concert. I can't remember the name. The 80s synth band.
Oh, the Midnight.
Midnight,
yeah, Midnight's
phenomenal.
life changing.
Yeah.
But who you would love?
Yo, this is my shit. This is I love this shit.
Bro, this dude's singing voice. I'm like, yo, this
Is it a
dude's
dude?
fire. Yeah.
I thought that was a
Yo,
chick.
there's some talented people. We're like the most like
We really are,
advanced
man.
like people in the world, man.
Well, now we have all the means to record, and think about how many people
Yeah,
died
this-
before us
this-
that never had
that's-
to do
He said, yeah, I'm fun.
Put
Yeah,
that
when
on.
he gets into the chorus on us, you're like, yeah, you're like, I'm already asleep.
Yeah, another person that you would love, man, is Explosions in the Sky. If you already don't listen to them, you would love them.
I think you
don't.
told me to listen to that before.
Explosions in the Sky.
I'm gonna
will
let this
change
album
your
play
life.
tonight, bro. When I go.
It's called Cry. Just came out 2
Alright,
weeks
so
ago.
I can't sleep to music. How do you do it? Do you put your AirPods in?
Well, you know I'm with the ASMR wave.
Yo,
someone-
ASMR don't put me to sleep. It just makes me relax at
Yeah.
any given time.
See, I think I'm now at a point where if I really want to, like if you guys are talking right now and I close my eyes, I think I could fall asleep within 2 minutes.
Damn.
That's how
Yeah.
you know you're an adult. You could just go
No,
to
not
sleep
even
on
that. I
command.
think like how he said, euphoric state. Listening to that, just you putting that on in the background, you guys could be talking. I can focus on that, and I think I can get myself into euphoric state.
Dude,
And just fall asleep.
The euphoric state when you're tired is one of the best feelings. 'Cause like I said, you go to
I
sleep.
feel like you're floating.
Bro, it's music is so powerful, man. I can't even
It's,
stress that
music,
enough.
music might be the most addicting drug that is
It's
not
like
lethal.
I
It actually
associate it
could be
with so
lethal.
many good times in my life. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just crazy. Like
No, it's
it can make
crazy.
you cry, it can
A
make
song,
you
a song can throw you back to a memory that you
Bro,
have.
Yeah.
I've been running into that lately.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with that, man, because like
Because
it'll
you'll hear
Don't
a
do it
song
when you're drunk,
and it
bro.
could, it could
it'll really
bro. You'll
bring
hear
you
a
back.
song and it could ruin your day.
You know what song ruins my day but also fixes it?
What?
It's a recent song. It's Switched by Black.
Black and Cleed.
That's a
No, not Black.
No, just Black.
I'm thinking the other one.
That's one of the greatest modern songs I've ever heard in my life. Right here. It's so good.
I gotta find out who
It's
produced
probably
it.
it's just so good.
Yeah, when we went to the concert, when Chris and I and B-Rod went to the concert and he played it.
Dude, this is
when you hear
vibe, bro.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
like a. Do you remember like those shows that would be
Ben's
like,
also a big fan of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I just thought right now? Like high school, you know, you're talking to this girl. You guys meet up at a.
This is
bonfire,
definitely a high school
meet up at a
song. Yeah, this
bonfire,
song reminds me of that.
And then finally, you've been waiting to like hook up with her or kiss her. In the background, you put your jacket on her, and then
Yeah, man.
you embrace her. Oh my! Let's go back.
This is throwing it back for you.
Smooth.
Not even that. It's just like a vibe to that.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
a
Yeah.
vibe. Being outside, you know what I'm saying, at night around a fire, like that's
I
what
think
this is.
I think like you guys were saying for hip hop, I think my favorite genre of hip hop. It's
That's a
I don't-
vibe, bro.
I don't even know how to
Yeah.
describe it. It's just
That's
like
definitely a vibe.
see, I would have to
I'm
play
adding
it.
all this shit.
Like there's this UK group called
How
Vibba.
open Oz is to new music. It makes me
Shout out to Vibba. There's this UK group that I discovered through one of this analyst for soccer that I watch, a YouTube channel. He's like, and he's with the Mandem, you know, and stuff like that. He's like, he's part of that kind of that grime culture, but he's not a part of the grime culture.
UK drill is like the grime drill is like.
Bro,
one
that
of
shit
the
makes you want to
hardest
commit
shit.
crimes.
Oh my gosh, I want to like fucking.
Grimes. She used to date Elon Musk. My brother just told me that. I didn't even know that.
Like, I don't know how to classify this type of genre of music, but like as soon as you hear it, like, it's kind of Kid Cudi-ish, but it's not. It's kind of like Golden Era as well.
I gotta wait for these drums to come in.
I'm just gonna fast forward,
I want to talk about something after we're done listening.
This is trap.
but it's not trap.
I'd call this trap. Could be glitch hop, maybe.
I think that's it.
Could be glitch hop.
Heavily sampled.
Ooh.
Yo, there's.
I
I love how open Oz is to new music, man. Most people you tell to listen to music and they're just like.
One thing I
"Oh,
love
whatever."
about UK artists though is the wordplay,
The words, the wordplay, the wordplay and the accent, man.
Like
It's
they'll
just
give
like
you some
heavy.
wordplay shit with their slang, like,
Oh yeah,
and it goes over your head like the.
Yeah,
Oh my
bro.
god. It's just,
that's cool, man. I don't know.
Let's see the next one.
English accent's kind of
can we
annoying me, man.
talk about something though?
What? Yeah.
Why is it that Americans?
Yeah. See, to me, this is trap.
You hear this? As you like it.
Yeah, that's a vibe. That's
Yeah.
a whole album. It's a whole album.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's
cool.
a new album that came out. San.
Why are
Unipero.
Americans so like boxed into like, just one sound and don't like to expound beyond that? Like UK grime music just seems like it will never take off in America. Why is that?
Dog,
You know what?
do you remember how hard it was when we were in Germany and we heard that German trap song? We were in the club.
Oh my god.
Yo, and everyone in the club, they're just going nuts. And then we heard the French song come.
Oh yeah.
See, that's here's the thing. All right, so I'm gonna say this.
That shit hard.
Remember?
Dog.
Wait, what song you guys talking about?
Habibi.
It's called
It's
just
literally
play
called
It's a
Habibi.
hype-ass
It
song.
better
Wait,
come on. It
is
should come on.
Hey, Habibi, don't
No,
you
no,
know?
no,
No.
no. That sounds like my wave too.
Oh
But
yeah, Panini.
Yo, that's what it's called. Yeah.
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
Habibi. But
See, I don't even know what I'm
but-
yo.
talking
So here's the thing. Here's the
Sound like
thing.
the old dad. Like
So-
that song's on the radio. I like
Yeah.
it.
Bro, that's how I am with music.
I
Yeah.
know you.
Dude, that song is fire.
Dude,
I'm
that's
like,
how I am with new music nowadays.
I like
man.
that
just
Closure
don't
song
know.
too, the one he comes out on. I don't know why.
I still don't understand how that's like a come out song. I've listened to it 1,000 times. I'm like,
And
he doesn't.
That's it. Just doesn't make any sense.
So the biggest
What's the song
thing.
called? Hold on.
Type in Habibi.
Habibi by I have it on here.
Habibi. The
No.
biggest difference between American clubs and like international clubs like Toronto or
Bro,
Germany,
they're just
they
way
play
better.
music that sounds good.
Yo,
It doesn't even have to be in English.
why am I doing?
Because you're getting into it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
all right, this is why first of all, I love Toronto because of the
Yes.
reason that like they're very embracive of every sort of music, right?
Yep.
Like they were first on Afrobeat, they were first on dance hall shit.
Besides the UK. Besides the UK.
No, but they work in unison together.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Both those like areas, they embrace the Afrobeat stuff. Afrobeat is just starting to get to America now, but
Yep.
like when we went to Germany, bro, they play all your stuff. Like they were playing heavy A$AP Rocky, Praise the Lord at the time. Remember they played that. Then they were also playing a lot of like the current shit, like the Drakes and whatnot. But then
it hit a certain hour.
Whole hour where they just went
dance hall,
French, Turkish, all these types of music,
all within an hour.
That to me is amazing.
Beautiful.
You're putting me
beautiful.
on music while I'm getting lit.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
I'm like, wait, what is this? Oh shit,
Yeah.
Bro, no, it also fucks me up too. It makes me feel like I'm not that great of a worldly citizen. So we're in the club, like we only know English. We see people, they put on 5 different language songs. Everyone in there knows the words.
Those are words.
I'm like, damn, I need some.
I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw on Habibi club song or
Bro,
Habibi song.
No, I have it on my phone.
Yeah.
I have it right here.
It
came out in 2015 too.
Yeah, bro.
It's called Habibi by Matre Grims. I can't even say it,
bro.
What's his name? I have it on my phone.
Yeah, the stuff I'm seeing, I don't think.
Type in Habibi and then space and do MAITRE
is lit.
GIMS.
That's one of the reasons why I like to travel.
Yeah,
because I like to experience that nightlife euphoric feeling.
Dog, what about the fact that so we left the club, right? The club's still going. We're tired. We're done. And they gave us a chicken sandwich.
Yo, it was crazy.
They gave us the chicken sandwich.
Yeah, that's it.
Bro, yeah. I'm getting flashbacks right now.
Oh, it makes me so sad, yo. There's another song, a Turkish song. Yo, it's just lit.
Yeah, man, that's a great thing about traveling is you get to listen to like what other people your age turn up to, and you're like, "Oh, this is pretty cool."
A French trap song.
This part gets I didn't expect this part. Yo, we were getting holy shit, lit. I was doing the hop.
Yeah, then even though we don't know what he's saying, he was speaking on his first verse. He was speaking of shit.
Yo, no idea what he's saying.
No idea what he's saying.
He has no idea what he's saying.
But he could tell you, I have so much German rap,
there
like
was
German era boom bap.
The other song that got me going was this song. I think this is it. It's called Ya Salam. It's cuz in Germany they have a lot of like obviously like outsiders like Turkish. It's like Arabic German. This song had me going crazy.
I remember this.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I was like, damn. You can't download it though for some reason.
Spotify. It might be on Spotify.
It's like Arabic German.
Okay.
This shit was lit, yo.
I love that's what I mean by music is a universal language, right? You don't understand what he's saying, but you understand the vibe. You understand how you're supposed to feel when you listen to this song. Everybody feels the same way when they hear it. You know, everyone's dancing.
Bro, that's so real.
Yo, that shit was. I was like,
It's
oh
fire,
my
huh?
gosh.
Is this French?
No, German.
Okay.
And this is what I was saying. Like, it's that. Would you say glitch hop or?
Glitch hop was the genre I was talking about.
Yeah, like glitch hop, and it has that like very boom bap feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yeah,
man.
I can pick out maybe like 30 things he's saying in there,
Bro,
like 30 words.
It's
That's
not even
about it.
about like picking it up. It's just about like how it makes you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Bro, that's
a film.
one of the
Music's a
main
film,
reasons, like, if I go to another like country or just whatever, I do want to like go to the bars and talk to the locals there. Like, I'm very big on that because you learn so much, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, that's the
great.
Cigarettes After Sex album cover. That's putting you to sleep.
Oh yeah, the water.
It's literally just a rain cloud, and it says Cigarettes After Sex.
You know what
and
I'm
it's just in
realizing?
gray.
The
I did
older
see
I
that.
get, man, I'm more like a vibe person. Like, I'm just like
What you mean a vibe person?
energy, like that people give off, and scenarios and like just atmospheres. Like if I go to like a city or something, and like just the people might give off something to me that makes me feel euphoric. You know, like it's just a weird thing. Like I only get it in certain areas though, but that curiosity or that feeling of you being in a euphoric state, I like want to feel that every time. So that's one of the reasons why I like to like travel, because I like to feel that new feeling of, oh damn man, like when I was in when we were in Germany, bro, and we were walking down, I'm sitting there, I'm just embracing it all. I'm like, dude, this is like
Graffiti everywhere
this
too.
is great. Like we don't have that over there. That's why I don't understand how Americans can just be so close-minded and it's like, yo, you're going to Europe. What if the plane crashes there? Like you're in the middle of the ocean. You don't like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why are we like that?
Remember when we went to that one park and we took a nap?
Yo,
and there was over
in a German park, bro.
and there was over 300 people doing the same shit, smoking, having drinks, and just like taking a nap, bro. We literally, it was like, I don't know if it was the night after we clubbed, but we went to this park that we just had lunch.
When we first got there,
was it? So we went to. Oh yeah. So we were tired. We just had lunch. We had some beers, and it was a park that I remember I saw the first time I was there. Over 300 people there, maybe even more, just smoking weed, smoking cigarettes. Everyone's just sleeping in the grass, and I'm like, yo, let's just sit down here for like.
Yo, we sat down. I took like a 20-minute nap, and I woke up. I'm like, yo, this is great, bro.
Right.
Like, this is what you live for.
You took a nap on an international vacation. Think about that. Most people would run around and be like, yo, we're wasting time sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we made up for it.
Oh, we made up. We had long
But my
nights.
point is, you're soaking it in. Like, you're taking your time.
We were living. We were literally living.
Yeah.
To answer your question, the reason why a lot of people in the United States aren't that way is because today people are less adventurous, and they're even less adventurous when
people are also scared,
when
man.
you live in a country as convenient as the one that we live in. Think about when you were in Germany. How did Uber work there?
We didn't have to do Uber.
Exactly.
We didn't use Uber.
Exactly. There's no Uber.
But here's the thing.
Uber Eats. You need to rely on public transportation. You need to find places that are open late at night, right? Here in the United States, we don't got to do any of that. I don't have to worry about where I am. I will call Uber, and I will get to where I need to be.
Yeah, but
I don't need to worry about
suck.
finding a place to eat. I will get Uber Eats. So because we live in such a convenient country where everything's set out for us, we lost that sense of adventure that they have in Europe. You know
that's
what
a
I'm
good
saying?
point.
Where they can crash
Remember when we found the Holocaust thing? The Holocaust church? Because we were just trying to find lunch. And then we found like the bullet holes everywhere.
Adventure, man.
Yeah.
Adventure. Also, we're a young country. Like when you go to Europe, you're walking around places that
but here's the thing. Here's what the biggest issue between public transportation and American. In other words, take public transportation here, you're seen as he doesn't have that money. He must not have a car. You know, stuff like that.
You got some
and
billionaires on that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Whereas we go over there, guess what? You take
billionaires on
in helicopter.
They're in helicopter.
Guess what? Over there, all you have to do is take two different trains. One train goes east, other one goes west, and they're on the same route, and you go around the whole fucking
Berlin's
state.
transportation system is better than the metro in New York, bro. It's better. Like you wouldn't believe it because New York's like bigger than Berlin, dude. It's crazy. Like I was sitting there, I'm like, dude, I never loved taking the train so much in my life. It's always a hassle, you know, for me. Like here,
train was always on time.
Yeah, it was always on time, and it's fast, it's easy, clean. It's not any like.
And then you realize that Berlin's a super young city, super young, as big as the city as it is. It's the age is so insane that everyone is. It's literally from 21 to like 32. Yeah, is like the age. We're on the train. It was Thursday night because the go out night in Berlin is Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, right?
Yeah, they go out Sunday too. Yeah.
So on Wednesday, we went out to, was it Bricks? I forget the hip hop club.
Thursday we went to Bricks.
Yeah, so we're going there. We see people doing all the same thing, all dressed up for different things. Remember, I was like, oh, they're probably going to that sex club Berghain when we saw that.
Yeah.
And we saw, and it's just like everyone's loving out the tattoos everywhere, earrings.
I love
like
that feeling of like when you travel and you just see a lot of people that are free. They don't give a damn. Yeah. They're just like free. That's another reason why
we saw guys in makeup like going to a club.
Bro,
like
it's just like
everyone's free out there.
It's supposed to
free.
be, bro. Like I think in America we try to conform to like just social norms more than other places.
And the social norms change like every 5 years.
They change every 5 years. It's like this is gonna sound a little bizarre, but I think like a lot of Americans were so on the hustle and bustle wave,
too fast paced,
and like, oh, you gotta retire, make sure you retire, which is important. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, bro, like no one ever talks about living your life out in your 20s and like being adventurous and seeing the world and seeing what's out there and meeting.
Bro, what's the perception if you yourself go down to a park in Philly, take a nap? Someone's like, oh, doesn't he got something else to do?
Bum ass nigga, like
you're homeless or something like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Whereas over there, no one says anything.
Another thing too, bro. I didn't see any fat people there, bro. and I saw senior citizens on bikes, bro. Yeah, senior citizens on
You probably seen that in Italy. Like, Italy probably, like, more heavier set people because they have the wine and so much pasta.
Hella carbs, bro.
But
even it's not crazy. It's not people asking them for a cart in a grocery store. Here, can you give me a cart, man? My knees a little bad.
We were in this Turkish hood, man. We ate at this one spot, I think, every day there for lunch.
Doner teller, doner kebab, bro. And you know that shit hits more after the club too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, but it's so different. Like, remember we were coming home the one night? Literally, we left the club at, what was it, like 9 a.m.? We were at the club from like 8 p.m. till 9 a.m.
Gotta do it one time, bro. It's
and
crazy.
we left and we go back,
go.
and there's people going to school. Literally, there are people going to like school, and I'm like, and we went back to Airbnb. Dude, we did not sleep the whole trip. I remember after those nights, we went back. We slept for like an hour or two, and then we started. And we were out.
Adventurous. And then we had a convenience store literally a step away. Like you just step out the house, and then it's right there. And we went in there, and they have everything you need, bro. So we would just grab that and head out. Take the train, head out somewhere. Like, it's just, oh man.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Listen,
dude, it was
I've
lit,
said this
man.
And they had beer in there too, and we were just
beer in the convenience store, dog.
I've said this before, man. Traveling is the highest form of entertainment.
It is.
It is. It's the highest form of entertainment.
It is.
There's nothing that's better.
I loved it, man.
Dude,
even though like our sleeping arrangements wasn't the best, I had like
man.
that was like one of those trips like I will always look back
Your
on.
room
It's
is
like
whatever, bro. Your room when you're traveling, especially with your boys. Like if you're with your girlfriend or something like that, then you need it to be.
yeah, Natalia and I, our first time in Europe, it was nice. Like
and it
where we
needs to be
stayed.
it's a different type of great, like when
Yeah.
it's with a significant
when
other.
you're with your boys or with your roommates or people that like y'all can roll and do whatever with, you're gonna be in your room for like.
He slept on the floor for 9 days.
3 hours tops, bro.
Literally, he slept on the floor for
It's
9
whatever,
days.
That's
man.
cool.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You serve it.
I mean, I won't do it
go.
again, but
No. See, yeah, if you were staying there for a month, no. But like
Yeah.
you're just out there for like a week or two, and you're just trying to kick it.
And the
that's-
6 flights up.
yeah.
That was
Dude.
chalk.
But yeah, beer and convenience store. So quick story. When I was in Japan this summer, we were hiking around Kyoto to see the Fox
Kyoto.
Shrines.
Nice.
So in Kyoto,
To see the what?
Fox Shrines.
Ooh.
So there's shrines that are dedicated and kind of protected by the spirits of foxes out there.
I
It's
like
a
that.
big Shinto
See,
thing.
that's a vibe. See, I mean, why don't we got cool stuff
So,
like
yeah,
that?
No, bro. I had the AirPods in, I had the lo-fi banging, and I was just walking around with these
You
foxes.
just
Yeah,
embracing
man.
it,
So,
yo.
bro, so there's this point, and it's funny because I'm supposed to be the Japan vet because I took my roommates there, and this is my 4th time. It's their first. So we all go to the
4th
convenience
time.
store to load up like before we go around Kyoto. And I was in the mood for something sweet,
Mm-hmm.
So, bro, when you're walking around and hiking, you got to be really hydrated. Like you can't mess around.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was thinking like I'll get myself they're called Calpis, like kind of like a sweet drink, and I should be all right, So I went up and I wasn't even paying attention. The lady asked me for my ID when I bought the drink that I was buying. So, bro, I'm walking around hiking, and I'm super dehydrated. So I'm like, it's a good time for that drink. Pull it out, dude. It's just straight beer. Like, probably the most intense beer I can ever. I was like, oh. And my roommate's like, are you all right? I was like, yeah.
Oh,
I
you got
started
some
feeling
beer?
so sick.
Yo, I would have been
But see,
dying if
that's
I
the
saw
thing.
that shit,
I wasn't
bro.
thinking because in the U.S. you'll never find beer in a convenience store.
Yeah,
like
you never
that,
find it.
because it was right next to where the other drinks are. So I was like, it had a picture of a watermelon on it. So I was
Remember,
like,
we were
watermelon
looking
drink?
for water.
I'll
Dude,
take
we
it.
were looking for water, and we're like, we can't find water.
Yeah, man. So that's the thing. Like in other countries, they're so liberal with beer, and it's just part of the adventure. It's part of just being out there. They trust you to be responsible, man. So
Yeah,
here in the United States, it's not that they don't trust you to be responsible. It's that you are too bound by the fact that you might get sued that they don't want to open up any possibility for a lawsuit.
Yeah.
So they won't allow you to have easy access to alcohol and all these other things. So,
Well,
which
they're
has
starting
pros
to
and
have it in the
cons.
grocery store now. It's in the grocery store now.
Which is a
it's
little
gonna
better.
slowly make its way, but it's
Yeah.
just like I don't know, man. America's just not like.
See, the only cool
It's not
shit
fun.
that it's not even
It's really
cool. I'm
not.
about to
I
say,
mean,
Not fun.
Don't get me wrong. Like, there's other places within the U.S. that are like really fun times and stuff that I've been to that I like, but like. The most fun I've ever had is outside the country.
Right. And I would say that young people that are our age in other countries, they're more fun. Like I know that.
They
I
are.
know it sounds weird to say because you're just there for a little bit,
Nah,
but they
bro,
know how to
we
enjoy
get it.
life more. They're not
Yeah.
jaded by all this materialism. Like
It
the
kind of
West
makes me
has.
sad in a little bit. Like,
It makes me super sad.
Like,
dude.
I mean, you guys probably had the most awesome childhood. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like in Toronto, bro, the drinking age is 19. It would never be that way out here.
No, of course
'Cause-
not.
bro, think about this, right? So you live wherever you live, right? Whereas everyone in Germany that we've seen ride bikes, right? Bro, you take the bike to train station or
Yeah.
whatever, and then you can hop off to Berlin for like the night or weekend, and it's super cheap because
Yeah.
their ecosystem is so it works.
Right.
It really works. Whereas here, everything's like expensive and like this costs that and this costs that. Here, we would never think of riding our bikes to Cornwalls to hop a train
Yeah.
to Center City, because people would be like, "What are you kids doing down here?"
Right.
Yeah.
Like, get outta
We're
here.
spoiled as fuck, man. We're
Exactly.
spoiled little brats.
Yeah.
Man.
You know, like,
So,
it's
yeah.
just the way it is.
My bad. But what I was saying is like adventure. That's the thing that you can never lose. That's a quality of yourself that you always have to constantly embrace and feed. because when you don't become adventurous, you just surrender yourself to being grumpy, and then you know the people who are like that you know that you work with that have never left the country and like they're in their 40s and 50s. And look, money is an object, I understand, but like when you're older and you've never left the country, you just you turn to a hater.
I feel like you have
so many times.
Oh,
You turn to a
yeah.
hater.
You
I
know,
feel like you got
country.
such a skewed perception of reality, and you have no idea how this world
you
works.
become a hater, and then you start. What gets me is the people that are talking so much about other countries and how they're shit, and they've never left Ben Salem or never left their subjected area.
Yeah,
it's like, how can you speak upon something
weird.
like? If it's one thing if I have been around the world and I'm talking shit on countries because I've been there, you know.
And
so
if you had a bad experience at one,
I have the right to do that.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you never left your fucking like city, how are you so? First of all, how are you educated on what's going on? You read an article, cool. All right, nice. You know how to read, but experience is always different.
The majority of people, they don't travel further than like 2 states away.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they were like, dude, they were like, oh, 8 hours to Virginia, and they think it's fucking so far away.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
like, bro, you can spend $100 in gas to get to Virginia, or you can spend $100 to get to London.
Yeah.
And it's the same distance.
Dude,
not
that's why
same distance, but
hard.
same time.
That's why I go so hard with work. Like I work 2 jobs, you know, I work crazy, but it's for me to be able to live the life that I want to live. Right.
Yeah.
Just like take adventure.
Would you relocate to a different country?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Fuck
curious
yeah.
about.
Would you live?
Where would you go?
Where would you go?
I can see you in London. I can see you kicking it in London.
I don't know. Good question, man. I'm open to anything, honestly. Like I've been studying, like I've been, for some reason recently, bro, I've been like watching a lot of videos on like Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Asian Boss is a great YouTube channel. I want to shout that out right now.
Asian Boss?
Yeah, Asian Boss.
I gotta check it out.
It's really cool.
Like, cause I'm going to Dubai in March, right? Like then I started to research. Like Cairo's in the Middle East, it's in Africa, but like I started to look at like a lot of Middle Eastern countries. Then I started to look at like Laos, Vietnam, Malaysia, Japan, obviously. Yeah, and I'm like, dude, these fucking countries are amazing. Thailand, you know, and I'm like, damn, Japan is just like crazy. Shanghai, Hong Kong, like I'm just like, dude, this is like dope, bro. You could just go to the market, like one of those markets, and grab like your fucking meal for the day.
Yeah,
I love that.
And it's super cheap, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
here's my thing. Here's the next thing I'm gonna try: a solo trip, just by myself.
Shane's
I
done
feel
that.
like everybody
Shane did that.
Everybody has to do it once. Where did he go?
He went to
Netherlands.
Amsterdam.
Oh, that's pretty far.
Yeah.
Did he like it being by himself?
Oh yeah, he loved it. He loved it. He's always talking about it now. I mean, I would do it, but like, I don't know. I'm weird, bro.
Ben and I were talking about
it's got to be a different type of trip though. Like you can't. I feel like if you're going by yourself, you can't be doing the things that you would do with people.
Like I would just totally experience, like explore it differently. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, just try to just vibe with the locals, obviously by myself. But like, it would be fun. Don't get me wrong. I would do it, but it's like, you know, not right now.
Yeah. I'm saying eventually I got to do a solo
If you
trip.
could relocate, where'd you go?
And globally or in the United States?
If you no, like leaving, becoming an expatriate.
So I went to Sorrento
In Japan?
summer,
Or was that in Italy?
That's in Italy.
Dude,
it's amazing.
That beach you were at?
Dude.
Oh my god.
So there was this moment when I was in Sorrento, my brother and my dad fell asleep on the beach, and I climbed out to like the rocks, because the rocks protrude further than the shore. So now you're like really out in the water, right? There's the shore, the rocks go all the way out, and then there's the sun. So you see like the horizon line of the water and then the sun. And it was just one of those moments, you know, where I kind of was surrounded by cliffs and I was watching the sun go down. And I took my phone out and I wrote a list of everything I was thankful for. And after I did that, I was like, this is a place where like I've experienced so much kind of like spiritual awakening that leaving it now physically hurts me. So like when I was there, I was like, I could live in Sorrento for the rest of my life. So that's the number one place. As much as I love Japan, I would go live in Sorrento in a heartbeat, bro.
Now, Japan
Is it like it's a coastal town?
It is a coastal town. So think about an Italian beach town. That's kind of like what it is. And it's
surfing
very, very
big
nice.
there?
No. It's really, the big thing is segways, like scooters, and you're just flying around the cliffs. So me and my brother were just rolling around.
Yeah, I think one of you put up a video of that.
Oh yeah, dude, we were going super fast. It's $30 for a day, and then you can just take the segways out, and dude, we just went everywhere. We went all down the Amalfi Coast. We stopped at every single beach, and it was awesome,
dude.
And so like, I would love to live there, man. Like, I couldn't relocate to Japan, to answer your question fully. as much as I love those people and we get along and everything's great, it's weird when you're white, bro. Like it's just like it's hard to make friends. It's hard to make friends. Yeah, because they're a very nationalistic country, and anybody who's listening to this, please don't get it misconstrued. Japanese are super friendly, they're super welcoming, they're super accommodating. The culture is just really, really different, and I'm not Japanese. Like I don't have Japanese mannerisms. Like I'm a little.
Would
louder.
it be the same thing for black people too?
It's probably worse.
They would be super nice to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard they want to take pictures because they never see like darker skinned person.
Yeah,
before.
that would happen to you, but it would just be difficult for.
I wouldn't be opposed to. I don't know why it wouldn't offend me.
No. And
until it does.
They're never really rude about it. Like it's really actual like, it's honest admiration that.
That's what I'm saying.
Like we're so impressed that you're coming here. Like we really hope that you like Japan. That's the whole attitude. We don't see people like you often. But then it's hard to assimilate because you're not Japanese.
Yeah.
So, but if you spoke the language, then it would be easier for you. You know. So that's the only reason I couldn't do it.
The one guy for Cannon Busters.
Yeah.
He lives there, right?
I forget.
Kyoto?
Sean, I forget.
Sean something.
Yeah, he lived in Japan for a little bit. But yeah, so that's the only reason why I couldn't do Japan. But I'm guessing the answer to yours is Germany, or am I wrong?
Number one would probably be, so I would have to visit another, because I visited the two biggest states.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to visit another state, but yeah, I see. The thing is, I know how to, like, you know how to navigate Japan.
Yeah,
you know how to navigate. Like he'll tell you. I know how to maneuver in Germany.
Yeah.
Like I can in and out.
I would see like the whole aspect of like traveling too is like I like navigating without any initial like direction. Like I like the aspect that you can just go somewhere, not know anything, not know what the spots are, and you just figure it out along the way.
Yeah,
like that's like the coolest thing. But like Japan's definitely been somewhere I want to get to.
Mm-hmm.
You say that like it's a very nationalistic like society and stuff. Like it's only like obviously
Japanese.
It's Japanese people.
They're also an island. People need to understand that.
Yeah.
It's a little different when you're an island. Like
I feel like China gets a lot more visitors.
Yes.
Yeah. Same with South Korea as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one on my bucket list.
That's one I want to go there badly.
Dude,
I heard there's more of like because I think we have a base out there. And some girl I follow, she's always like at the clubs and stuff and like walking around the streets and stuff, and I just see a lot of like mixed people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't really see that often in Japan when I see videos of people.
Mm-hmm.
I see obviously it's like a white person or black person and it's surrounded by all Japanese people. But when I see like stuff from like South Korea, it's a lot of mixed people.
Yeah.
As the locals.
I think South Korea is also the really trendy spot right now.
Yeah.
Because of the K-pop industry and how that's just taken over. So a lot of people are going to South Korea to.
Asia's dope, man. I think
Asia's
like
awesome.
You know what's another thing that's fucked up is no, like I talked to a lot of people about traveling and stuff. And I told a couple people that I went to Dubai because I couldn't hold it in, or that I'm going to Dubai, and like their initial reaction is, what? Like, why would you want to go there? You gotta be safe. I'm like, what's your idea of a vacation? I want to go to Ireland.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
My thing is like,
why is everyone that's like the safe route? You don't want to go to Asia, or anything like that. It's like, dude, the world is so fucking big, bro.
I want to go to Africa really bad.
Yo,
dude, I want to go to Africa really bad.
I want to go very bad.
Cape Town, South Africa is on my bucket list, bro.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I just want to see everything there, man.
Yeah,
I really want to see
food, culture, music.
Food, culture, music, just how people live. But
biggest.
My thing is this though. I was like, anytime somebody asks me like, "Oh, you're going here? Like, what for?" It's cool because like they want to know what I'm doing, but in my mind, like you never need a reason to travel. Like I should never have to ask you like what for. Like I'm going to Korea, dude. Enjoy that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care why you're going. Like that's
awesome.
awesome.
Create some memories. That's what I tell them.
That's it. Right.
Yeah.
And not expecting you to say that. They're just expecting you to be like, oh, for a vacation or to meet my friend or something like that. No, I'm just going to go. Like that's so rare to hear nowadays.
Yeah. I'm gonna start. I've been saying it. Like I said it last time. Someone they were like, oh. Excuse me. I'm like, no. Like, I just, and I started going off tangent because I always go off tangent. I was like, nah, like, why is it that, like, I gotta just, like, be normal. Like, it has to be for vacation or it has to be to go meet someone. Like, I can't just go to feel the vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to feel the vibe.
Yeah, I just want to feel the vibe, man. Like, I only got one shot at this shit, bro.
I told you that. I might have said on the podcast. I always forget, like, what I've said to my friends and what I say on the podcast. But, no, the guy that you know, or you often see. Him and I are very close. And I asked him one time, I said, what's your biggest regret? Because he's older, right? And he's like, I don't have any regrets. He goes, I just wish I traveled more. Dude, that stuck with me for the rest of my life.
I hear that from my mom told me that. My dad told me that. It's like, I'm so happy that, because I remember the one time like when we were in Germany and I came back and my dad was like, I'm really happy that you're doing this, because some people will never ever see outside their subjected area, bro.
It's crazy.
Never.
At the same time, your dad moved countries.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That takes courage, leaving Africa to go to America, dude. That's probably scary as fuck.
Yeah,
same thing with
scary.
your parents. Same thing with my parents. Like, that's scary as fuck.
It's definitely a shock.
Yeah, man.
But like, it's funny you say that because I had a similar moment, not with a grandparent or any immediate family, but I've had it with some lady I work with. She's like, Oz, the best thing you do is live out your 20s and do it with like, experiences. Like, think of experiences. Don't think of, oh, like I gotta go do this, or I don't really want to do this. Just do it. Just do it for the experience, because you'll look back like when you have kids and shit, and you'll be able to explain to them like it kind of like she kind of explained that like it might make you a better parent in the long run too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you'll be able to be like, all right, I've seen this, I've seen that. I can kind of help you, understand the world better.
Exactly. But you also have something to tell them, and they can look at you with this sort of admiration, like, wow, dude, my parents were adventurous. Like, when I grow up, I'm gonna be adventurous too. You create this lineage of open-minded people when you give yourself more unique experiences.
Yeah.
So you could pass them on, right?
Pass them on.
Man, that's the whole vibe of.
It's deep when you think about it, bro.
That's why you want to become just a worldly citizen, man.
Yeah.
You want to understand all walks of life.
Think about all the people you admire right now. All of them are like citizens of the earth.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. All of them are just people that are multifaceted, multicultural. They're open to all sorts of different things. I feel like we're beating a dead horse at this point, but go travel. I guess that's the message of this podcast.
Yeah, you gotta just do it, bro. Like, it's great.
And figure out a way, man. You could fund it. Who was on here? Homes by Jordan. Jordan Parenti was on here, and he told us about Scott's Cheap Flights, which I can't plug enough. Like, if you're not on that, you got to be on that. What is it?
Scott's Cheap Flights.
It's a newsletter that they send out via email, and it's just deals on flights.
You follow the one that we both followed a couple years ago on Twitter, Zeus Travels.
I think, yeah.
That's one.
It's something like
they
that.
always tweet out, it's like, what's the deal of like the week or something.
Yeah, it's like,
yo,
2 weeks from now, $200 tickets to China. Like, and
Yeah,
you may not be able to do it, but to have those constantly coming in is super cool because you can be like, you know what, I might just think about this one.
Yeah.
You know?
China real quick.
Yeah, maybe pop off, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's something I'm
Maybe
gearing.
not.
Maybe I would say maybe not now.
Yeah, there's a lot of protests going on.
Oh
People
yeah.
getting beat up, but
Well, if you go in with
Beat up,
LeBron
bro.
James
People
jersey, they'll
getting
be like, all right, bet
killed.
we in here.
you see these people fighting the cops, bro. I'm seeing people jump up in the air and like,
Looks like the Joker film, bro. When they were rioting,
dude,
I'm like, dude, this shit's real life.
like drop kicking police and police hitting them with batons.
What about the woman who was like
I heard a lot.
violently stabbed for like it was like trending on the internet a couple weeks ago.
Stabbed by a cop?
I forget. No, she was part of the Hong Kong thing, and she was like stabbed by like Shanghaiists or something like that.
Yeah, there's a crazy Reddit subreddit called Public Freakouts, and again, if anyone wants to see these Chinese protests, just go on Reddit and the Public Freakout subreddit, man. There's videos for days of just like people fighting cops.
It's like amazing what's going on. Like
it really is, man. It's unbelievable.
unreal.
And then what happened with I was talking about this briefly on the last episode with the NBA.
yeah,
That was nuts. Because dude, China loves
they have a lot of power.
Yo,
basketball
they do.
so
They do.
much.
They do.
They got a lot of power.
Hardcore. Big fans.
And now they felt betrayed.
Yeah. So you saw the video of the dude painting over the Houston Rockets sign?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
man. It got pretty serious.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, sports brings a lot of joy to a lot of people.
You also gotta remember,
overseas.
dude, that's 1 billion people that live in that country.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. So and like, I was talking to Jesse and Josh about this, my two roommates. For those who are listening, they were saying like, they were like kind of clowning on LeBron, saying he's a clown, like for all this stuff. And I'm like, you gotta understand, like,
Wait, who were they clowning on?
LeBron for where he
Okay,
said that
LeBron.
the owner shouldn't have done that. He misspoke and he was uninformed. It's like, you got to understand that like the biggest market in the NBA is China.
Yeah, 100%.
The
In the film
NBA,
industry.
the NBA, yeah, even that too.
Yeah.
The NBA and all these businesses are getting blindsided by this because we also don't see a lot what goes on in China because it is a communist country.
Yeah.
Right.
So a lot of this stuff doesn't get revealed or leaked out, kind of like in North Korea. No one knows what's going on in North Korea.
Yeah.
You have no clue. It's just
Yeah.
completely blacklisted. Like If anything comes out, you're like, holy shit, that's
Dude,
that's nuts.
It's crazy out
Isn't
there.
that weird how we have no idea?
We have no clue what's going on in that
Dude,
country.
it could be like Midsummer. It could just be like insane.
Watch it last night.
Yo,
literally watched it last
I watched
night.
it this weekend.
I saw Hereditary, but I didn't see Midsummer.
You didn't see it yet?
Now, yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
I might give you my password.
Dude, it's pretty
Is it
wild.
it's better than Hereditary?
Way different film, not scary at all. Brilliant.
Not
It was
scary,
just
but
brilliant.
like you're gonna walk away being like, man, that's disturbing.
All the murders pretty much happen off screen.
I wouldn't even call them murders. It's just nuts,
No,
bro.
because Hereditary was like brilliant for me. Like that's like one of
It
that's
was
how
for
a horror,
it was
a
for
horror
me.
film should
It
be.
was for me as well until the end when it got too meta.
it got stupid.
When it got too meta and it just happened too fast. It wasn't enough build up. And I didn't like the end.
I hated
But
the
I think I have a little theory that both movies are set in the same universe.
Well, I think they're spiritual successors almost.
Bro, that shit. freaked
What's the
me
same
out,
director?
Bro.
It's the same director of both films,
Yeah,
same
yeah.
writer and director.
You want to know why? You know what really attracted me to that film though? Because it seemed like it could happen for real. Like you know how the lady knocked on the door. She's like, ah, and knocked on the glass door. The lady's
Yeah.
what's the mom name?
I don't remember her
She
name.
knocked on the door. She's like, I want to tell you something. It just seemed like a very
No part fucked me up when she was like, when the kid was asleep, he had a dream. He was like, "Mom, like, why do you want to kill him?" She's like, "I don't want to kill you. I don't want to do anything."
Yeah,
to you."
okay.
He's like, "Well, Mom, look what's in your hand." And the cameras cutting back and forth between. Then you see him like wet all of a sudden. You're like, "Why is he
Yeah.
wet?" She's like, "No, I would never hurt you." And then she's wet. He's like, "But Mom," and then it goes back to her and she's on fire. And then he's on fire. I'm like,
yeah.
I was like,
It was crazy.
whoa. I was like, okay. But you say that, how you think that it could happen. Everything that happened in Midsummer probably happens right now.
Bro, Midsummer
Midsummer is
I don't want to spoil too
Wow.
much for you, man.
I watched in the dark. I'm
Dog,
dead
it's
ass about to go watch.
It's not scary. It's a long
it's
movie
not scary.
though.
You could
it's
watch
like 3
it by
hours.
yourself. You could watch it by yourself.
It's 3 hours, right? It's close.
It's pretty long. Yeah,
pretty
I'd
close.
say it's maybe 2.5 hours.
I might watch it tonight, and then because one of the people at my work, he
I would love to talk about it right now too.
Me too.
Yeah, I know, man.
It's all good,
If y'all
bro.
want to do the next, whatever.
Yeah, we could do another
could-
episode.
Yeah, you
talk.
can hop back on.
But yeah, because I'm definitely watching it this week.
All
Someone at work was always just talking about it, and
Midsummer.
yeah, because I told him I saw Hereditary and I loved it. He's like, bro, you didn't see Midsummer, did you? And I'm like, no.
Because Midsummer just came out this past July,
Yeah.
and it was the literally the longest running horror movie that's ever been in theaters.
Bro, but
'cause
that's how
people
horror
are
should
going
be
nuts
done,
about
though.
it.
Those kind of that concept, like that's how it should be
And
done.
that's why Us by Jordan Peele pissed me off so much
Yeah.
because you nailed it with
you went
with
off script and tried
yeah
to do.
you nailed. What was the
know,
first one called? I can't remember
It
what the
was
first
called
one. Get Out.
Get Out.
Get Out.
One of my
Literally,
favorite, dude, such a great movie, bro.
if it's not a perfect film, it's close. Midsummer. I think Midsummer might be.
it depicts just.
I'm giving
how-
Midsummer. I'm giving Midsummer a 9.4, and I would give Get Out like a 9.2.
It's
Us
so
is a
good.
5. Like Us was terrible. I did not like.
I
Us.
didn't watch it, but I heard that they went so far off.
I give the
of,
Joker like almost a 10 as well.
I gotta watch that too, man.
Dang,
I be busy, dog.
no, I feel
Yeah,
that,
as you
honestly.
should,
Listen,
as
I'm
you
gonna
should,
watch.
bro.
I'm gonna watch
I feel
both.
you, I
You give
feel that.
Joker a 10.
Almost a 10.
What?
It was
you
almost.
liked it that much?
Bro, I can name
You're not
just.
the first one to say that, though.
You know,
There's
my
just-
brother just left to go watch it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Bro, there's one scene in that movie that I could do without. Just one.
Oh.
Other than that movie
Did
is.
he nail it
really
better
good.
than Heath? They'll be honest.
It's hard to compare because they're completely different. Heath didn't have a full film for
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
Like this, okay. So I'll say this: writing aside, the plot of the story very predictable. Performance, unmatched.
Yeah. The
Unmatched.
acting was so good.
The acting was literally
Well, Keenan is just a
Unmatched.
great actor. It's not
and
like,
and
killed
that
it.
and what they did is like
watch all that shit tonight, dog.
with the so what they did
time
with
you
the
gotta
laugh.
work?
I don't know. I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck.
So what they did with the laugh is that it's a real life disorder where people, when they have awkward situations, they tend to laugh. It's
Yeah,
I forget the name of it. I saw a video on
so
YouTube.
They really go through the whole process of
Yeah, it deals
how
with
he-
mental health. Yeah, it's
it's a big mental health.
it's a
movie.
big mental health movie.
Yeah.
There's just one scene towards the end that I was like, that's
Yo,
a lot.
damn,
That's a
you
load
got
of.
me in my bag. I'm about to go and watch that shit.
I was like, that's a load of bullshit because I hate when films are set in a certain time and they relate to something that happens today. I don't like that.
Oh, but it's kind of like touche a little bit. It's kind of like
Yeah, it's
or
like a
cliche
little tongue in
bit.
cheek.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a little
yeah.
tongue in cheek where it's like something.
Oh,
happened.
you're trying to make a statement about some political.
And that's
bullshit.
exactly what happened, and
Yeah,
I couldn't
Deadpool
stand
did
it.
that shit too. Like they were kind of like attacking.
But I think they were
SJWs
making
and
they were
shit.
making fun of it in Deadpool, where he was
Yeah.
like, X-Men, I'm sorry, X-People. Like, they were totally joking.
That was kind of funny, but it's like, all right, you're trying to modernize.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that was brilliant with Joker. So the plot of Joker obviously is pretty predictable, but the plot of the character was so unpredictable. You couldn't really tell what he was gonna do next.
Yeah,
I gotta watch all that.
The character that Joaquin Phoenix made, we called him Arthur when we talked about him on the show because he's definitely not Joker. It's like a whole separate entity.
Yeah.
That character is like awesome because you know that if you were in a room with him, you'd be uncomfortable because you don't know what he would do.
Exactly.
Like, he's just so like.
You ever meet people like that in
so
real life? You just don't know.
Like, there are people in high school that were like that.
I'm gonna tell you this one part. I'm gonna tell you this one part of the movie because I'll be very careful.
No,
it happens. You can find it online. It was one of the things that they kept showing on like the talk shows and all the trailers. He does something in the movie, and after he does the deed, right? So, Drew, you remember this? After he does the deed, he runs to a bathroom, and where you would think like he's gonna cry or like be like almost like self-destructive for what he just did, and then he just like starts dancing, like very. It's like kind of disturbing how it happens.
It's kind of scary a little bit.
Yeah, it was scary because you're like, damn, that's kind of fucked. Like he just did this heinous thing.
He does something so wild, and because in every other movie when somebody does something like this,
they're like, what did I just do?
They're trying to find a way to hide.
Yeah,
dude.
No, not like that. He just no, bro, it's scarier than like he just does these like slow like classical movements, and he's like just going like this. But my favorite thing in the movie when he was like he was like picturing himself at a club, like trying to talk to girls. Yeah, don't talk to girls. And he's going like this. He's just dancing, and he's like talking to himself as a girl. He's like, "Hey, you're a good dancer." He's like, "I know." I lost my shit in the movie, dude.
But that scene was so genius because it's one of those scenes where it makes you. Really
what disorder does he have? Like mental disorder? Cause that seems like he has like
it's a lot.
It's like bipolar mixed with like multiple personalities.
No, definitely not multiple personalities.
He's having a tough time at life. But I will say this, man.
Yeah, he's just.
There's people like I know that are like that though, man. Like I've seen like that.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. You can smell the crazy on people sometimes.
Oh yeah.
But for me, man, I gotta say this movie does a good job of creating scenes where it makes you feel like the actor really thinks he's alone. Like the whole dancing thing, like it doesn't seem.
I can picture it in my head right now, and it's kind of disturbing me right now. I don't know why I didn't see it.
It is weird, man. It's weird. But yeah, go see it. I think everyone should see the Joker movie.
I think everyone should see this movie. It's the first movie, rated R movie, and something else that it's going to hit over $1 billion.
Yeah,
in the shortest amount of time.
I check.
It's only been out
man.
for 3 weeks, and so you're at like 900 billion, 100 million, something like that.
I would definitely check it out.
But before you watch Joker, watch Midsummer.
Yeah,
so you can come back on next weekend. We can just do a whole deep dive.
Watch Midsummer, man, because that movie is just. Man.
I will say this about Midsummer, and I said this in Italian when we watched it. I hated the lead character so much because when she was having her panic attacks, I was getting annoyed as fuck.
Oh yeah.
And it's how I was explaining. I'm like, no, I really do get it, and I understand, but like, there's just something the way she's doing it. It's literally hurting me.
Well, what? Because it was fake.
Nah, I don't know how to explain it. Once he sees the movie, then I'll be able to explain it better in detail.
I'm probably gonna go and watch Joker right now first. Like you guys had me wanting to watch Midsummer, but I might just wait till like tomorrow.
Yeah, go watch.
Joker's a shorter movie.
Yeah, go watch Joker, and then I'd just try and check out Midsummer whenever you can. But yeah,
I think you're gonna really like Joker because I remember that you were really into like the Criminal Minds, the documentaries.
Yeah.
So I really think you're gonna like Joker because what happens in the movie, man, it's just really good.
And it's rated R, so it's definitely gonna be some crazy shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there is crazy shit. A lot.
I want to go watch
There's a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
What movie have you watched recently, Oz?
Yo, man, I really don't like. I always feel.
I gotta watch The King on Netflix when I get home.
Like
out of the loop.
That's one thing I do want to do more of is watch movies like because like I don't know. Sheldon probably feels this way too, but like when you watch like certain movies, it puts you in a different state
mood,
too.
It does.
You know what I mean, like it's just like wow, you start really questioning things in your head internally.
I like movies better than TV shows.
Oh yeah, 100%. Me too.
Yeah.
And as much TV shows I watch, I just finished Big Mouth last night. This shit was amazing. But
I'm not into Big Mouth,
bro. Too funny. It's way too funny.
I don't know.
I need to get into all that, man, because like there's been like I remember I didn't see Get Out until a year afterwards.
It was out,
and I was just so amazed. I'm like,
at Get Out.
Yeah, I'm like.
So you didn't see it during its hype?
No, I didn't. Which I'm kind of grateful for because a lot of those things can taint like your actual perception of it.
AKA us. That I think the hype of Get Out might have tainted how I felt about the film. I would have to rewatch it though, but
nah, Get Out was the perfect opinion. And the thing I like about it the most is it didn't really do it in a way to offend white people. Like
it was smartly done.
It was smartly done.
It was smartly done.
Like, oh gosh, man!
I can't get over that
genius.
scene. No, it's genius. It was such a subtle thing. The relationship of her brother talking to the boyfriend, and it reminded me of conversations I've had, kind of in similar situations, not to an extent.
Do you know what really like touched me is like the play on passive aggressive racist.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I would have voted for Obama a third time if I could. You know, like, yeah, I would. Yeah. And then,
how big is it really that big?
Is it
Remember
really that big? Like, nah. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. Or
bro.
It always like I would always think in my mind there's just because I work part time obviously at ShopRite.
You're good at. You must be great at basketball. You're so tall.
Be great. You're so tall. Like, there's this boomer white dude, hardcore MAGA guy. He loves me.
I love when people say boomer.
No, he like fucking loves me because I'm a well-spoken black guy and stuff like that, and I look him in the eye when I'm talking to him and shit. So he feels the need to be very, very embracive of me, I guess. Yeah. So like he says like a lot of passive aggressive racist shit. Like the one time he always has to mention that like, oh, I had a conversation with this brother, like North Philly, like I'm from North Philly, I'm from 12th and Diamond,
So he tries to like associate. Or,
like, tries to relate to the situation.
Yeah, like
he tries to bring himself down.
He's like, I remember one time he calls me Johnny Boy, he calls me Charlie Boy, like, and I call him Cliff or whatever the fuck. And like, yeah, we talk every day, we get coffee, and I'm like, dude, like, there's so much hate in this world. Why can't we just be brothers? I'm like, okay, cool. And then,
that's all you say. Cool, man.
No, but I just like laugh.
Yeah.
But then 2 weeks ago, we're talking, and he's like, because I work 2 jobs and stuff and stuff like that. And he's like, yo, you're such a hardworking kid, whatever. Mm-hmm. He's like, yo, man, I told my daughter about you. I was like, yo, if you were a dated black guy, it'd be you.
He said that?
Legit, in my face. And I literally was like,
yeah.
Like I looked him in the eye. I'm like,
that's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's so uncomfortable. I'm like, what makes you think you can say that?
When he said it, did he like immediately realize that he said something weird?
No,
and that's the thing that Get Out showed perfectly.
Yo, and that's, bro, it's
so
crazy.
Weird.
And it's
you know who also does that shit too? Hillary Clinton. Drives me up a fucking wall, man.
That's why.
Hear how she talks, like trying to relate and like all this stuff. I'm like, bro, if you want to be like an ally to anyone who's not the same complexion as you, just be yourself and just be cool.
Yeah. Like, just be cool.
Well, just don't try and make so much of a distinction. Like, you try to make all these distinctions, it just makes things worse. You know, like there's not. Just don't ever draw lines. Like,
I started to see this trend though. Like a lot of times, like you have that white friend that always has to make you feel like not make you feel uncomfortable because that's gonna happen inevitably. But like the ones that will always have to mention you're black.
Yeah.
In a joking way though, like oh, it's because you're black. Or let's go. Yo, where's Oz? Like, it used to be funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a very open guy. I'm not like one of these pro-black, like militant black dudes. But
at the same time,
give me a good joke. You know what I mean? Don't be like, oh,
you know what's the worst too? It's like, oh, you're not that black. It's like,
or I'm the same like thing as you. Like, oh, how is your hair like a rug? Like,
what's weird is that like when they're thinking about you in their mind, that's the first thing they think of. Like, isn't that weird?
Yeah,
like, isn't that weird you guys
shit.
out? Because I don't know what that's like, but like that's the first thing they think of, right?
Yeah.
Is like they label you like, all right, Oz black. Like that's the first.
Yeah,
thing.
that's the first thing.
It's so tiring, dude.
It's so tiring, bro.
It's so tiring.
It's so tiring, and it's like, I don't like. I have some friends that are like that, and it doesn't. Not that I'm not friends with them anymore or anything like that, but it's like I kind of keep like a distance a little bit.
Yeah,
like I won't hang out with you because I've always been in circles where I've been the only black person. It's weird how I think because I never thought like, okay, I'm the only black person in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like until you bring it to my attention, because this is gonna sound very condescending and kind of stupid, but like, you know how people say I don't see color.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like I legit, I see color, but it's like I don't associate that with people.
If you're cool, you're cool.
You know what I mean? Like I don't really associate it with like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with my white friends today. I'm gonna be the only black guy there. Yeah. Like I don't go thinking that.
And honestly, man, that's like the standard life of someone who lives in the suburbs. Though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, and but
it's
like,
tiring. It really is tiring.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. but like it's just something I started to see recently. It was like different, and it's not just like white people though. It's sometimes like I'll see. Like I remember when I was younger, I used to like chill with these Indian kids, right? And we always have a blast to play basketball and stuff. And then one day, right, Madden 07 had came out.
Damn, that's a while ago.
It was a while ago, bro.
6th grade, 7th grade.
Yeah, 7th grade. And I was like, and we were talking about how like, yo, I'll beat your ass in that shit. Yo, I'll beat that pussy ass in that shit. I'm like, yo, man, I got this team. You got this team. Yo, man, I'll trash you. So then I was under the impression that we were all gonna go to my friend's house who were Indian. It was 2 Indians and I was the only black kid. I was like under the impression that we were all gonna go
and play the game. Yeah.
So we had finished playing basketball, you know, whatever, got dole, and he's like, all right, bet, like let's go. So my friend opens his door, walks in, takes his shoes off. The other one takes his shoes off. I go. He's like, nah, yo, like I don't think my parents would be okay with that. Legit. That was like the first time I've seen like exclusion of like just because of my color. Like your Indian friend who, it's funny that I thought it was just like by association, like all right, he's Indian so he can come in. It is that too, but it was this kid that I'm talking about that was able to go into my friend's house. He had just moved in to the neighborhood and they had no family ties or anything like that. So it's like he's okay because he's Indian, and that's what it told me.
So hold on. When he said, "I don't think my parents are gonna be cool with that,"
he's just like, "No, my parents ain't." Like he said something along those lines. I don't remember the verbiage, but
he meant not cool with you in the house.
I'm not sure what that meant, but I took it as at the time I was just like, "Oh, okay, whatever." I rubbed it off. You're a kid, you know.
You dipped.
Yeah.
I dipped. I just went home.
Dude,
I lived across the street.
Super sad.
Yeah, no, we lived across the street. Like his house here.
That's
right
still
here.
super sad. Damn.
Yeah,
I had something like that.
And then I just, you know,
junior year.
As I got older, I was like, damn, that was some racist shit. But not by him. Like that's his parents. They put that onto you.
That's so.
No, junior in high school. If anyone, not gonna say her name, but it was trying to go to prom, right? And then me and this girl, if anyone happens to remember who I was like associated with junior year. We talked about this before. I remember it was around prom time, and me and this girl been talking, dating, whatever you want to call it, for like a couple months. Around prom time, so I was like, yeah, like, boom, we want to go to prom together? And her was like, we can't go to prom together. I said, why? She's like, my dad doesn't like black people. And I'm like,
she just straight up said that to you?
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, and honestly, I'm like, oh, dude, it stuck with me. So it was like it pissed me off.
How did you reply to something like that?
How do you?
That's why I'm asking you. Like, what words come to your mouth? Like, do you just go like, like, dude, what?
I was just like, well, because it made me angry, and you kind of had something similar like this as well. It made me angry because, like, okay, so I don't tell my mom like of who I've been with and stuff like that. She kind of just knows, like, she just knows who I've been with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we've been like hanging out and stuff like this.
How do you tell your mom that? Yeah.
Right. No, not even that. I'm not telling my mom. I'm like, I probably was never brought up to your dad, but like, why do you care, like, what he thinks, kind of thing?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And that interaction led to like a downfall between me and that person.
Not to stick up for her though, but it's like if you're a kid in that position, like you can't just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna go with.
No, and that's exactly right.
You have to go to the house to take pictures, so it's like, you know what I mean. So I understand.
So I get it, but at the same time, it's just like because it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, if you have someone who's like different than you, right, and you're like, even as friends, and your parents has like that kid, like, let's say if you and that kid were boys and his parents still felt that way too, like, subconsciously in your head you're like, yo, why are you not sticking up for me to like your parents?
Yeah.
Why are you not telling them? Why are you not telling them that I'm like,
like
I'm cool, like,
yeah,
and then you shouldn't like judge, you know what I mean, like judge someone. Like
I would do that for my friend.
Yeah, right. I would go to bat for anyone, like, and so I was like, yo, that's kind of like. That's fucked. I was like, that's like not even cool.
That's why it's good that you had a falling out after that, because that person wasn't worth having, any sort of cohesion after that.
Yeah,
right.
It's just not.
It made it so hard.
It's actually crazy you say that, because this is like speaking of defending people. So you know, like Penn Salem is filled with a lot of like Indian stuff, right? So at ShopRite, right, when whenever butter's on sale or oil's on sale, like these people, they're smart. They come to this country, you know, they move in units, they buy the development. You know, they put their money together, buy development, send their kids to school, pay for it. You know what I mean? And their kids are smart already. To get, you know, so I understand like the immigrant struggle because I'm a first generation American myself. So I've seen my parents go from bottom up. So when I see other ethnicities and people of color, whatever you want to call it, come to this country and do the same thing, whether it's like, you know, having a store or what have you, right? I can't hate on that. So, you know, our store has a rule of, you know, you can only get one order a day if it's like, you know, like a sale item and coupons and all that shit, right? But seeing the way Indians are treated though, like at that place, is crazy because it's like this one lady, I'm not gonna name any names, but every time she sees an Indian person come up, she's always like, "Yo, watch it," like in front of them, though. Like she's like, "Yo, watch them," like, sure they don't get. I'm like, "You relax, bro." Like, like that's that's stupid.
I hate that.
At the end of the day, these people are trying to put food on the table for their, you know, their family and stuff like that. All right, they're gonna take the shopper water and go sell it for more. All right, that's the struggle. That's what they have to do. You know, like that's something that just doesn't. I don't.
Yeah, but that's not for you
subscribe
to police.
To.
Like that falls out of your range of authority. So
yeah,
like,
if the store director or person said that, then that's one thing. You're just enforcing the rules of them.
Exactly.
And you can leave the moral compass or whatever with them. That's their thing, you know. But like, don't try to play manager when it's not, you know.
Right.
That just means that you
it's
have
just like
a deeper problem against that.
I'm not gonna lie, bro, and that's what like be driving me crazy about like. Just like racism in the world, bro.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
My thing is that,
especially in America,
it's a preconceived notion.
In America,
especially in America, shit makes no sense.
So I guess we're telling like stories about where we witnessed kind of crazy stuff like that. So I was always under the impression that like racism is real, but it was less prevalent in our generation. I think like that's a fair assumption.
Like you said, the boomers.
They have that in it.
Obviously, you guys are way more aware. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're black. I've never been the victim of any. The only time I've been a victim of discrimination is in Japan. But like, you know, it wasn't anything as to the level you guys were.
Yeah,
like, I was not allowed to go into a restaurant because I was an American. They're just like, sorry, we can't serve you. And I was like, all right. Like, it was weird.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, oh, I feel kind of bad about that. But you know. So, but when I really saw, I was at Temple, man, I'll never ever forget this because it shocked me. Like, and to this day, I still think about it. You know how like at the Temple atmosphere, there's like that Gratz area, and there's like a lot of house parties, and so like people would kind of meander through that area in North Philadelphia,
right?
And like there'd be people like, yo, it's like $5 to get in or whatever. Like it was just kind of like this party selection thing. And there's this group of black kids. I was just walking around, and they were walking, and they went up to this like house to go walk into a party. It had like a staircase, and there's a dude on a staircase, and it was a white dude and like 3 white girls, and the white guy had a beer in his hand. He was obviously drunk. So I'm watching just like what's going on, and they go up to like check out like how much it is to get to the party, or the guy knows somebody. They're approaching the house to go to the party. It's 4 black kids, the white guy and the white girls. And I'll never forget, the guy goes, we don't allow any N-words in here. Like he was straight up, and I was like, wait, are they just? Is this like some like really hard type joking? Or are they like each other?
Yeah.
And they were just like, "F you, man." He's like, "No, F you guys." Like, well, we don't have N-words in here. And I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah,
right. I remember watching it in disbelief. Like, yo, this is the first time I've seen somebody my age.
Yo, it's crazy.
In Philadelphia, being mad racist.
It's
and
crazy.
I was shocked. I was literally
in Philadelphia too.
I was like, dude, is this from a movie? That's when like I really started to realize, like, oh snap,
it shit
like,
really do happen.
Yeah,
shit,
this happens.
Yeah,
dude, it was crazy.
I got a story for you. He knows about it. Last summer, was that 2018? Yeah. Somebody, I'll tell you who it is off camera, but someone that we probably
I know exactly what this is.
Me and Shane were gonna go out on like a Friday or Saturday night. I forget which night it was, and we were like, "Yeah, what do you want to do?" And Ryan, or one of our friends, mutual friends, that we're friends with, he was like, "Yo, come to my house. We'll just like, you know, pregame here and then head out to the city, whatever." I'm like, "All right, cool." So then we get to his house, and him and his girlfriend, they were like, "Oh gosh, like I thought it was just boys' night, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be third wheeling, fourth wheeling, whatever you call it."
Right.
And he's like, "Yo, we're gonna head over to this person's house, someone that we all know."
All right.
And I'm like, "Okay, whatever. Like, we'll see what the night takes us." So we get there. They're having like a barbecue or something like that. It's like the kid that we know, his sister, dad, and everybody there. you know, and I'm like, all right, it's cool. I'm not the type of person where I can prosper in any situation, whether it be like a room full of white people, a room full of Indian people. I'm myself first, so I know that I'm not awkward. I'm not gonna, you know, be a disturbance. I'm not any of that. So I'm never worried about, oh, this is gonna be awkward. Like sometimes I am, but it's like I know how I can wiggle through it.
Right.
And Shane's the same way. So we get there, it's a vibe, you know. I'm like, damn, it's kind of all right, man. Like, you know, we get beers and stuff. And this person who's obviously a little drunk, but doesn't mean anything because it's like judges like a play, or drunk is a play off of your
Actual
real thoughts.
feelings.
Always. Like, it's how you're really feeling in deep side.
Yeah, they call it the truth serum.
So we're in a circle, and I'm asking about a mutual friend that we all know. I'm like, yo, you used to hang out with him? Have you seen him? And he goes, oh, yeah, I did see him before. You know, we were down in Millersville, we were chilling, and this black kid that was there, me and him got into a fight that night, and I was like, okay, whatever. And he's like, yeah, like, he starts, like, saying shit, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you, nigger, like, nigger, to him.
He was saying that he said that to the
black kid.
He's saying to the black guy while telling this directly to Oz.
Directly to me, and I'm like,
we're like, yeah, man, we've all been there before.
I'm like, how are you supposed to respond? I'm like 5 or 6 beers in, so I'm a little tipsy.
Yeah.
But like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, dog. Like,
just felt awkward how comfortable he was saying that to you.
But you want to hear like how I knew it was not just him that felt this way, and like everyone around, his family felt this way. His sister, the dude's sister was there, and we were all talking like just whatever, and you know, follow each other on Facebook and Instagram. The day later, I was deleted.
What?
Yeah. So I left, went home, whatever, and I was like, this is like a weird situation. Like, I've never experienced that before.
You just immediately left after that experience?
Probably like 10 minutes after.
Yeah, I would have dipped.
I got the fuck out. Like,
that's so weird.
That's just so weird because, like, if I were this, like, you know, person and I made a scene, I'm probably getting shot or something happening. You know what I mean? Like, you got to think about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, like,
that's like one of the craziest things about being, like, us and dealing with racism, because, like, how I want to react, I can't.
You can't, because if you react a certain way, they're gonna look at you as like, yo, you're doing what we know you are. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it is. So that was like, it wasn't directed towards me, but it was.
My thing is like, how did he expect you to be comfortable with that? Like, did he just expect you to go,
that's where the privilege comes in. I totally
know what you're talking about. That happens all the time. Like,
that's where the privilege comes in. And that's why I try to explain to the people about like white privilege. It has nothing to do with, oh, because you're white, you can get more than I can. Because at the end of the day, let's keep it real, it's a capitalistic society. If I have more credentials under my name and another white person has probably the same, maybe a little less, like,
the corporation's gonna hire you.
They're gonna hire me.
They want money.
They want money. Like, I have more to offer. That's just it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like white privilege is the fact that you think you can say that and it's okay.
It's okay. Nothing will happen to you.
And like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And as a white person, if you're okay with that being like a like, if you know that exists, like, just acknowledge it. That's it. Like, it doesn't mean that you're that you're you know, better than me or anything. It's not anything of that. It's just like, just know that's how this country is. There's no way around it. It's just how it is.
And that's why it's also really important to surround yourself around people like who don't look like you. Yeah. That will go to bat for you.
Yeah, that's like, when you know.
And that's like one of the things, like I said, with that situation junior year in high school, when that was said to me, it's like, yeah, you should be going to bat for me. Yeah. Because like, it wasn't like, you know, we were, you know, pretty much dating. Yeah. Like, and stuff. You can let that mean what it's supposed to mean, but it's like, I would protect you. You should protect me.
Yeah, bro. If I saw a group of black people that were attacking like Andrew or something like that, I would step in, but yo, bro, that's not cool.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like, I was in Philadelphia when I went to school at Temple. I was in Philadelphia, and I appreciate you saying that. It's very nice of you, man. There's black Israelites, right? You've seen them a bunch of times. And so I'm walking with a friend of mine who happened to be black, and a black Israelite saw both of us. And he started yelling at my friend. He's like, what are you doing with that man? Yeah. He's like, that man's a white devil, bro. I started laughing my head off. Yeah. But see, that's part of the privilege thing. Like, I can laugh at that. Like, I was just like, that's silly. And like, my friend was just like, yo, this dude's tripping. Like, that's, and we just kept talking about what we were talking about. Yeah. I didn't feel threatened. Like, I didn't feel uncomfortable. That is the point of the privilege, right? you felt rightfully threatened and rightfully uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Anything could have happened to you in the house. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? That guy just got done saying that he fought a black guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And he called him the N-word.
Yeah,
right?
so
But
it's
when
like you definitely don't care.
Because the
Right,
thing,
someone's
because
calling
the
me
thing
white devil. I
is,
think it's hilarious. I laughed at the dude.
because the
I was
thing
like, that's
is,
so funny.
like, that will happen. A situation like that will happen. So you have scenarios in your head. You're like, all right, if I swing on this guy for saying that, who's gonna swing on me, or what's gonna happen to me?
What's gonna happen
or
to you?
is someone, another scenario is, he just said this to me. Who here, who barely knows me, has my back to say, yo, what the fuck's wrong with you? Don't be saying
don't
that
say
shit.
that.
Not only that, but what if you knock this guy out and then you kill him by accident, and police come in and just like, oh man, this angry black dude just came in and killed this guy.
That's what the tabloids was, or that's what the headline was saying.
Right. That's
But
so
they
you
don't
gotta
know
think
what
of-
happened.
You have to think
Yeah,
about all
bro.
that.
But that's why, like, I remove myself from the situation because I'm like, it's could, like, you know, he's drinking obviously, so it could get even worse.
Yeah.
But bro, like, that's like the thing, like, and I used to be so naive to the fact, like,
Bro,
I used to think it never existed.
You know how
I
much
would-
anxiety I'd had, like, going to college parties? Like, because, like you said, like, both of us, majority of our friends happen to be white.
Yeah.
And I'm like, every time I go to a party, I'm like,
And
please,
you're
no
the
one
only
say
black
any
kid,
racist
They're gonna
shit,
say
man.
something like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. And it's like, I remember in college, a couple drinks in, someone would be like, yo, my nigga, what's good? And I'm
Really?
like,
Yeah,
Dog, bro.
all the time.
all
On
the
your
time.
team though?
No,
Oh,
just
okay.
like
It's just, yeah,
people
just
I'm cool with at school.
Right, right.
And it's like, I went to a school, like, it's called Gwynedd fucking Mercy. like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
how many?
Can you cut that out and like play it like in like
You to isolate it?
Yeah.
Isolate it totally.
Yeah. So it's like you've been at a party, you know what those parties look like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all white people, bro.
Right.
If, Bro, if you listen, man,
Even at
have
Temple,
a lot
Temple
of
is
white
so
friends.
white.
I have a lot of white friends, and I'm happy that I do. Like,
Yeah.
my friends are cool and everything. I'm always I'm always the only black person in you know the group.
Right.
But it's always great to know that they're not gonna say some racist shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you're in the vicinity of that.
Bro, and that's what drives me crazy about people that go to Temple and are racist. It's like,
Oh, you in the hood, bro.
right.
Like,
And it's like it drives me crazy because I'm like, dude, like how do you even at this point you should be I'm not even gonna say cultured enough. You should just be a good person enough to
Yeah.
know.
We should just acknowledge like these people are my neighbors, so maybe
Yeah.
it's easier for me if I'm cool with them. That's why like,
Yeah.
I was so surprised when I saw that guy do that. I was like, do you not know where you are? Like, you're
Right.
not in
yeah,
Texas.
bro. And, and
bro.
if he got his head cracked open with a fucking AK
I thought
or
that's
something,
dude. I thought that's what was gonna happen.
then
I was like, dude, he's gonna
then
get hit.
it would have been a race war, or it would have
Yeah.
been like, yo, black guy, like, and then a conservative person would have took that article, like, oh, this white guy was killed
Right.
in broad day, like by
Right.
black people, but
Right.
this is
Yeah.
not being reported. But you know what he said though. You know what I mean? Like you don't. fucking
Yeah,
know.
man. It's
That's why-
it's
that's why
it's so tiring how just this shit happens all the time.
So what's the solution? Like, do you guys ignore it? Or, like, do you guys educate people? Like, well, I don't know. What do you do?
See, and that's the fucked
I don't
up
know
part
what the
too,
right
because
thing to
sometimes
do
I
is.
want to say to someone, it's like, yo, you shouldn't say that, and then I know that's like
They're gonna overreact.
gonna either one overreact or two, you don't get invited to shit anymore. You know, it's a trickle down effect.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
it's so tough.
What I would do now, being the person I am now, like if
Yeah,
I was
today?
like, I'd be like, yo, bro, like I felt a little uncomfortable for you saying that.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, you are my boy, and I want to educate you.
Yeah.
Like the way I handle this, I didn't get aggressive or anything like that. Like it's not okay to say that. Like and I probably could tell him why, but it's not gonna go through his head. I'm gonna say like, listen, bro, I'm cool. I'm not hostile, but there's might be some people that would crack your skull open. You know, for that,
Right.
and then you're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, this sucks." Just imagine,
Yeah, it's
imagine how that feels when you say something to
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how we feel. This
And that's so
fuck,
cool, man. Like, because you acknowledge, like, yo, I know you're trying to be cool, but you're not. making
Yeah,
me
that's not the
comfortable.
wave.
And the
But
thing
it's
is-
crazy. You gotta
yeah.
tell people not to say that. It's like, shouldn't you know? But they'll be like, oh, like they say it in rap songs, and that's where the privilege comes. Like,
You should see it. Bro,
that's where it comes.
If you
like,
ever go to a rap show, you just got to take that L. And
yeah.
just be
Oh,
like,
I take it all the time, dude.
It's so annoying.
They're playing
Someone's like, "What am I
someone
going to
played
censor
Finado.
myself?" It's like, bro, it's a single word. Like,
bro. Somebody played where I was at a bar, a white bar down in fucking Philly. Obviously, a lot of white people in there. They played Finado by Chief Keef.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tommy says the N word in that.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Nigga, what the fuck is?
what about when hot nigga came out?
Yo, you just gotta take the L, bro. I was like, don't say it.
But the best part is,
I
when,
can't.
but the best part is when you don't even have to say it, and they just no one will like say it. Like,
Oh yeah, that's good
like
too.
the respect factor. Like,
So someone might make that argument, say, yo, why? But they say it in all the rap songs. They should stop saying it. I'm like, yo, man, me personally, like that's just like rap affects white people the most, meaning that they're the ones that buy the tickets the most, the merch the most, because like that's just how it is. Generations have been that way. And the crazy thing now is a lot of the kids who were into the punk scene and stuff like that and the metal scenes and went to those concerts and opened up mosh pits now transition into rap music and doing the same things there. So like I don't want to say they have the right to say it, but it's like they are at the fucking concerts. They're paying for tickets. They're buying merch. You know, so it's like you can't really get around that. You know what I mean? Like you go to Meek Mill concert, all the front rows are white kids.
Yeah,
niggas don't go to concerts. Niggas don't buy tickets.
It is interesting.
That's just how it is.
It's funny because I talked about this on the podcast earlier. I was talking with Lil Uzi Vert about that. My boy Josh was with me, and we were talking about how a lot of people who go to hip hop concerts are white. And
it's the biggest consumer.
It's the biggest consumer. It's been that way for
consumer of hip hop.
Lil Uzi said something so funny though, man. Like because he was kind of just joking with us, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I play all these festivals and everybody's white." And Josh, who is black, he was like. He goes, yeah, man, a lot of, there's some black people who can't afford, like, the ticket prices to go to outdoor concerts. He was like, nah, bro, black people just don't want to be outside.
Yeah,
that's what Lil Uzi said. And sweaty and hot.
Yo,
like,
it's
that's
true.
Hey, guess what?
It's true,
that's
bro.
True,
He
man.
was telling us, I started crying. He was like, bro, white people love that, being outside.
Yeah, they love being sweaty with bugs.
He's like, being sweaty. He's like,
bro,
black people don't want to do that.
Bro,
it's
crazy. That's the truth.
I went to 2 festivals in my life and I hated it because I was like, yo,
bro,
I'm fucking sweating.
I hate festivals, low key. I'll go. Look at me. When I snuck into Made in America, bro, dude, I never seen so many kids like it's kind of crazy to see like even Pusha T, bro. Like you would think there's all like 35-year-old black dudes that are like, yo, he's a real bro. He's keeping that shit up, like that real rap up. It was all white dudes. Yeah, and knew the words. Every Pusha song. His set was the best of Made in America that year, in my opinion. But it's just like that's just like the number one consumer, bro. You can't do anything, and niggas don't go to concerts. It's not that they can't afford it. Like Uzi said, they don't want to be outside. They don't want to be pushed around. Yeah. That's just how it is.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's a cultural.
And to be real, going to festivals after a certain age is like
you feel because it's all young.
It's
kids.
all young kids.
It's all kids.
I feel
like it's more so for them.
Like
and you can just watch the festivals online for free.
Yeah, for free. Yeah.
I'd rather the past 5 years I've been watching Coachella online.
I ain't gonna lie though, I low key just for 1 year want to experience Coachella. I don't know why I do. Just because I want to put on a crazy fit, and just that's the only reason why. Because the Coachella fits are like dope.
Yeah. No, people show up.
Yeah, it's like a fashion show for
the
like
one festival.
One
festival I want to go to so bad is Burning Man.
Okay,
that's insane.
I need that experience.
I feel like it's a land with no rules though. Like I kind of be weirded out.
I would be weirded out.
Hey, man.
People shitting in my mouth when I'm sleeping.
Like, just weird stuff is gonna happen.
Hey,
you know.
Just pass the DMT and let's keep it going.
No, Shelter, you're talking, bro. There's no way that you'd be cool with that.
not with that. It would be cool if someone shitting where I'm sleeping.
No, I'm saying with DMT and like we tripping all the time.
I do want to try it. Just listen to Joe Rogan all the time. I'm just like DMT, like just that. Cause remember we were talking about like the. What are those called? The desensitization tanks?
I knew somebody who did that.
DMT in the desensitization tank?
I've been in an isolation tank.
Isolation
It's very interesting.
But, I can't do anything that fucks with my subconscious.
I want that. Cause
you know why? Because I'm very
grounded in this.
I have crazy anxiety, believe it or not. Like crazy anxiety.
I don't get that from you, man.
I think I know. I mask it really well. I think I don't want to say it's not like anxiety in terms of like, oh, I'm not gonna go outside because I'm like, it's not like that. It's more so like I think very deeply into things more than I should. Like if I could have like $20,000 right now, and like I'd be like, damn, I might lose this shit, bro. Like I gotta start investing. I gotta do something. Like I might lose it. And reality, I ain't spending shit. I'm just thinking ahead of time, and it's just. I just overthink things.
Overthink.
So I know if I was on any type of hallucinogen or anything like that, I would overthink this. I would be tripping balls.
See, for me, it's like I'm all for like the spiritual self journey that you can go on with.
And also too, I heard I had a friend right that did shrooms and ended up killing someone. So I might
killing somebody.
Yeah, I might. He had a bad batch.
That was around here.
Yeah, I worked with him closely. He ended up killing somebody.
It depends on the people that you're around, man.
Yeah.
And the environment that you're in.
And that's what I'm saying. I think, like you said, Midsummer, what they did in that movie, I want to experience to an extent of what they were experiencing without the panic attacks.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't try, dude, because I know the one time I would do that shit, I'd go haywire, have a fucking godlike complex, and just like end up going.
You're not gonna panic, bro. I'm telling you, that's all stuff that you put in your mind. Really, what it is like it depends on who you're hanging out with and the environment that you have, and the people that are talking to you and what you're listening to. That's gonna be your world when you're partaking in.
I'll do it with Ben because he's done it a lot,
and he's a very positive person.
Oh, Ben is very.
He's been trying to get me to tab for I don't know how long, and I'm just like, but I can't do that. But if you have shrooms, I'll do shrooms.
I mean, like isolation tanks and stuff like that. It really is about the people that you're around and the environment that you're creating. That whole like I'm gonna go crazy and go off the basket thing. No offense, it shows your misunderstanding of that whole mindset. Like you would be cool, especially you. Like you're a positive guy. You know who you are.
Why is it that like I mean it's just one.
Well, see, the problem is once someone freaks out, it's hard to get them to calm down.
Yeah,
no, it depends on who's there. Like I'm
telling
you, man,
that does
like,
depend.
All you gotta do is just have somebody cool that can ground you.
Yo,
but like,
here's the crazy part about it though, right? The person who I know that killed his friend, the person that was there to kind of subdue him was the most calming, loving, saint-like person. He actually reminds me of Ben a little bit, but like even nice, like crazy. And he ended up getting his life taken. So it's like, you hear that, and then like I was like, all right, that's probably a rare case. It don't matter. Then I heard the same story.
What was he doing?
Huh?
What was he doing?
Shrooms.
Yeah.
You remember this was back in high school.
I ain't gonna say something.
Yeah, it's all good.
It was back in high school.
I don't even remember. I didn't hear about the murders or anything like that. So
yeah,
well, he was up the street.
He was going in and out of like a mental state
Episodes,
and like whatever, and like the kid came to like subdue him, I guess, right, to calm him down, because that's just the kind of guy he was. Like it was late at night. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. He was sleeping, woke up, came over. I gotta make sure my boy's good, and fucking dragged him in the kitchen and stabbed him to death.
Well, see, the guy who is really, really cool, that's one thing. But, like, the guy who was taking the drugs, like, how is he normally? Like, do you look at him and you're
He's a
like,
nice dude, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I mean, I am sounding like I am misguided. I don't know anything. I don't have information to even, like, speak on it. But I'm just going off what I see
also,
and knowing the kind of person I am.
It's also like baby steps. Like, what other mind-altering stuff did he do before he took shrooms?
Yeah. There's a lot of
pretty
steps
extreme.
into it.
So it's just, there's a lot of variables. But I'm telling you, man, like, when it comes to altered mind states, like, let's just stay in isolation tanks. Like, that stuff is cool once you're in the right setting. Like, I would recommend Float Philly to anybody. Like, that.
I want to do it.
It's cool, man. But, like, you just have to totally accept and let go that this is a temporary thing I'm going to experience and I'm going to enjoy it.
And like I said, like you both know me, I'm pretty passive and very calm and chill.
That's
like
how you gotta be.
I want to. The reason I want to go to Burning Man is because like a lot of people say of their experience and like finding themselves. Like I found myself.
Yeah.
And I love myself, but I want to have a deeper connection with my. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
not to sound like super cliche and corny.
No.
But like,
that's fair to say.
because like when I hear people talk that the trips that they've taken on like DMT or peyote or shrooms and like in certain areas like that in Burning Man where everyone's loving each other.
Yeah.
Bro, like. That's incredible to me. It's like I don't know when that ever will be, but that's something I just want to experience.
Yeah, the places with the most positive energy I'm for. So I might be down for Burning Man. I don't want to take my clothes off.
Just stay away. Just stay away from the orgy tent.
Yeah, I just want to be just cool, just left to be myself. You know.
Yeah, bro. There's just
sitting in the desert, just looking up.
Where's that again?
Arizona.
Arizona. Okay.
Let's all go. Dude, that'd be wild if the three of us went.
You get an RV?
Yo, son,
man.
That'd be wild.
Hey, man.
Dude,
the ideas are there.
That's cool, man. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should end it at 8 o'clock. We've been talking a lot about racism, movies, music, rappers, all that. So it's been a cool episode. Anything else y'all want to talk about?
No, that was really good.
Andrewcast, we are back.
Andrewcast,
after a long hiatus.
I know, man. It was so long.
75 episodes.
Yeah, this is 75, man.
Damn.
No one else can do that.
I'm happy to be part of the 75th episode.
Yeah,
man.
We got the incredible.
Wait until you see 100.
The all-knowing Sheldon Fogel.
You thought that we were done? You thought we were done out here?
Yeah,
You done though?
Dude,
you done though?
I'm about to go.
Yo, Wagwan.
Shit, man. When I leave.
I was just traveling for a long time, but yeah, this episode will be out before you know it. 75. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you later.
Peace out.
Oh yeah.